Radio Free Havana.
We always joked that we were going to one day be ESPN Havana.
It was a dream, David. Now all I'm left with is trying to steal the Bahamas Bowl.
Well, hotel rates will probably be the biggest obstacle.
No, where you play, it's the biggest obstacle.
Okay. They think they can get hotel rates at a decent...
In December, on like the 17th, I don't think it would be a problem at all.
Okay.
I actually think hotels would be delighted.
Remember, you need like a week. You know, those teams come down here.
Right, but they come down before. They don't stay after.
Right. No, true.
It's between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's actually the perfect time.
Okay.
Morning, Ambien.
David, I got to tell you, my family thinks it is absolutely hilarious when you say slap the 8-track on the side of the... Kind of a random thing, but you've said it like 3 or 4 times throughout the course of the last month. They think it's hilarious.
The 8-tracks used to get jammed, and you just have to go boop.
Yep.
All right. Sometimes, and when you had them in a car, my mother's longtime boyfriend had a 55 T-Bird. All right, and it had 8 tracks. All right, and the 8-track would get, and you just kind of hit the dash, and boop, there you go.
The thing I remember about 8-tracks is that my mom had one in which it was like a live album, but they didn't have enough tape on the one side of the 8-track. So basically in the middle of the song, it would skip because they couldn't do it the way they did albums.
Right.
Ambient, the problem with the Broncos guest is we're on 6 to 10 in the morning. And that's 4 to... the fact that you get up is amazing. To get someone to come up and talk about the Broncos, maybe before... Do they play the Dolphins? No.
They
Ambient, don't laugh. Okay, we'll try to get Westhoff.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be his 6 a.m. hour, our 8 o'clock hour. We will try to get Westhoff.
Broncos play the Browns.
Do you remember the Jets Hard Knocks?
Yeah.
Do you remember the special teams coach that swore like a sailor?
Yes.
That's Mike Westhoff. He lives down here.
Okay. We've
become pretty friendly with him.
That's cool.
So that's what he's saying. He's now an associate coach for the Broncos. So that's who we're trying to get. He's great. He is an absolute character.
Adam, glad to see you took in some college hoops last night.
I watched a little Purdue, Tennessee, David. I liked the lane at the Maui Invitational.
Okay.
That's my takeaway from that game. I liked the lane.
Well, all I know, gentlemen, is 2 spots were clinched in the in-season playoff tournament last night.
The Lakers, and the Lakers are one of them. And does anything else really matter?
No. And how does this affect LeBron's legacy? We'll have more coming up.
Funny you say that, Canada Relief. I offered to get pizza tonight because I'm not cooking tonight. I told my mother-in-law, I said, we're doing pizza. We're going to go out and do tacos. I was all for pizza.
Hey, David, that Gatorade you have, is that berry?
Yeah, and it sucks. God,
yeah, okay.
My wife, she knows I like grape and orange, and I come home and there's blue and berry in the damn fridge.
It's the
what the hell?
Gatorade Zero, the pink berry flavor is just tastes like off medicine.
It's awful. It's why I'm drinking it first, just getting it out of the way.
Here we go.
Golly.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Top of the morning to you. 24 hours away from the big holiday. We asked the question, how the heck are you? Miller and Moulton, the Florida Sports Network, floridasportsnetwork.com. Great to be with you. We'll obviously be off tomorrow. We're doing a show Black Friday. Oh, we're working too. Yeah. We'll help you spend your money. Get you in a festive mood.
Big sale on Miller and Moulton merchandise this Black Friday.
Yes. T-shirts are 100% off.
If you can find them.
I text David Sampson yesterday. I go, you have no idea what a sore spot you touched on when you mentioned merchandise involving our show. Man. We have to just, can we come up with one damn item before they cancel us once and for all, whenever that day is? Can we just sell one damn Miller and Moulton item? A mug?
I don't know, David. I don't know. There are, when it was brought up yesterday, we did get one text that said, that FSN shirt that David wears, I'd want one of those.
Fine. He can have all mine.
Well,
Okay.
no, that's not selling a damn shirt.
It's not.
It's away.
And it doesn't say Miller and Moulton on that damn shirt. But that's about the only thing, besides that getting paid, it's about the only thing we've gotten from Marty, our boss. We got like 3-4 white shirts with logos on it.
That's 3 or 4 more. I've got one.
I got 3. I do. One's a little see-through, which is not a good look.
It's not a good look. Not for either of us, David.
No. No. But I do. I just, can we sell one mug, one shirt with our logo on it? And yes, we have a logo. It's actually pretty nice. It was professionally designed and everything. But I have to admit, now that I'm home, okay, and I recognize the bed I slept in last night, you know what? I might embrace this Thanksgiving holiday. I'm on the fence, but I might tip over it, and then I don't know about you, but man, I apparently I'm errand boy today. I'm
done with all. I have run so many errands this week, and I do all the cooking in my house. My wife does the baking. She's making it. We don't do pumpkin pie. She does a pumpkin cake. It's lovely. It really is.
Oh, okay.
No, it's really
all right.
It's really good.
That lovely's one of those words.
Yeah, I know. You're right. No, it's fantastic.
Okay.
I prefer the pumpkin cake to the pumpkin pie, and it's not close. She's doing that today. But I have decided I'm brining the turkey this year, so I had to buy a brining bag. I was getting something ready, didn't have one item, had to run to the store. I have been in the 12 items or less so many times I can't even count.
Well, I gotta hit a Publix and a Walmart and a honey baked ham today. I mean, could I go into 3 more congested places today? The day before Thanksgiving?
It's a high traffic zone, David. All of them.
I don't think my family likes
me. Get out of Walmart.
I know. I don't know if I can get in, but I definitely can't get out alive.
The other side of it is that they're only going to have one checkout open. And everybody else has to go through the self-checkout, which you won't do.
I will not do. No. I'm not doing your work for you. No, you're raising prices and I have to wait on myself? No. I'm going to make you earn this money.
Can I ask one question about your Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Has the ham been ordered, or are you expecting to walk in and buy one?
No. That's the funny thing. Outside of Publix. But no, the Walmart and the honey baked ham stuff already ordered. Supposedly, I'm just going in going, yeah, I'm number 009321684.
That's good, because I would not want to see you walk into the honey baked ham and have them tell you we're out.
Right.
Because that could cause an international incident.
Which, of course, and I would understand anybody who's dumb enough to walk into a honey baked ham at like 2:00 the day before Thanksgiving should be told we're out, even if they've got 140 of them in the back. All right. But of course, then I would want to go, what do you mean you're out? You sell hams. How could you be out of hams?
I'm not coming here to buy a turkey.
Right.
I'm not coming here to buy anything but what it says you have.
Right. Not asking for stuffing and potatoes. Honey baked ham, not honey baked out. But anyway, I digress. Miller and Moulton.
I did it last night. I watched a little college hoop.
Hey, all right. All right. What'd you watch?
Little Purdue, Tennessee.
Ooh,
Little
listen,
Maui Invitational.
There's a couple of good games at the Maui last night. Yeah, top 10 teams going at it. It's old days of the Maui Invitation last night. Although they got that funky new court, don't they?
They do. I liked the lane. I had no problem with it.
What do you mean you like the lane? Is like the bowling alley number 5? Well, what are you talking about, the lane?
Just in the paint, they had a nice design. It was very Maui Invitational-esque. It looked good.
It looked like you could wear it on a shirt. Is that what
It
you're
looked
saying?
like a shirt. It looked like a Hawaiian shirt. That's what the
Okay.
lane looked like.
Okay, fair enough.
It was loud. It was blue. It screamed, put a luau on me and let's get after a Mai Tai or two.
But yeah, we had 4 of the top 7 teams in action last night playing each other. 2 against 7, 1 against 4. That's what I'm talking about. Last night was like an Elite 8 or a Final 4, in theory. So yeah, little college hoops. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, there will be no football today. There is no football today. None.
Yeah, this ends it, right?
This is it. Last night was the end of 50 consecutive days and nights of football. Yeah. And then
Just asking you, if you were a conference, would you try to schedule one game for today? I know it's Thanksgiving. I understand.
Thanksgiving Eve. See, I have no problem. See, where I grew up, you played your biggest high school rival on Thanksgiving morning, 10:30. That's when everybody, I grew up in Edison, New Jersey. There were 2 high schools in Edison. One was Edison High. The other was J.P. Stevens High School. We played Thanksgiving morning at 10:30. And I can go through the list of all the rivals who played one another. And the kickoffs were between 10 and 11 o'clock on Thanksgiving morning. That was a thing where I grew up. I don't know if they still do it. I think they still do. But that was the big game, Mark.
Okay.
And Mark, we played Edison one year. We had actually, and this is the funny thing, the regular season ended like 2.5 weeks earlier. We actually played a playoff game, Mark. Won it. Had to come back on a short week and play our arch rival at their place. And then the following week continued the playoffs.
It's funny you said, now they didn't do it when I was alive, but before I was alive, the only 2 schools were Saginaw High and Arthur Hill, where I grew up. And they played, my dad would talk about going to see Saginaw High play Arthur Hill on Thanksgiving Day.
I went to college in northeastern Pennsylvania. And when I got into the media, all of a sudden I learned that on Thanksgiving afternoon, Stroudsburg and East Stroudsburg colleges played each other. Thanksgiving Day. I was like, I'll be damned. So I remember the first Thanksgiving I had to work, and I figured, I had nothing to do. They're like, what do you mean you have nothing to do? You got to drive on out to East Stroudsburg, dude. I'm like, what? They go, yeah, we got a football game today. I'll be darned. I actually think that was like a 10:30 job also.
But Thanksgiving Eve, if you were the Sun Belt.
Thanksgiving Eve is tough, though.
I understand, but
I mean, come on, Mark. I'm at I'd love to go, but I'm at either a Publix, a Walmart, or a Honey Baked Ham today. I mean, how am I going to take in this game?
Just wondering if someone would do it for the TV.
Now, I'll say, so tonight is what you're saying, like 7:30 tonight.
Yes.
Ooh.
Don't know if you'd be done with the amount of people travel. I don't know if anybody would ever want to pull it off, but you've got an open night on television. That's all I'm talking about. I mean, you're competing with the NHL.
I think it would have to be, 2 schools that are not very far apart. both sides would drive to the game every year.
Maybe we bring back the USF UCF game and they play at Thanksgiving Eve. I know that ship sailed. I understand it.
Well, it's sailed for UCF standpoint for now. We'll see. We'll see. I would like to think that at some point even their alumni would go. Come on. Well, especially in 2 years when South Florida's in the ACC.
It will be a good ACC Big 12 matchup.
Yeah. There you go. And while you're out, you could do like the Gators and the Knowles do. The day before or after, you could play a basketball game.
By the way, for those listening for the first time wondering what the hell are they talking about with South Florida and the ACC, it's just a little prediction that Miller and Moulton have when the ACC crumbles, which will begin a few months.
March, April.
Probably April.
Okay. So that's our prediction. That's when the mass exodus is announced, and then the ACC starts scrambling, and South Florida will be one of the first schools. And we're not kidding, by the way. I'd bet money on it happening. That's how convinced I mean, we know the ACC is going to have a mass exodus. We don't think it's going to be a Pac-12 mass exodus, but we think it's going to be close. I mean, I think it has to be.
I think it's a Pac-12 mass exodus.
Well, but remember, you've got, 18 schools now in the ACC with the Stanford, Cal, and SMU coming on board. So you have to have 8 or 9 leave to, disband the damn conference. It's another reason why, ladies and gentlemen, it has to happen this spring before those 3 schools are members, because then one less school has to leave in order for the conference to disband. So, like right now, 8 schools have to leave in order for the whole grant of rights thing to not be able to be enforced. Big 12's taken 4 of them, by the way. Minimum. Then, Clemson, Florida State, Miami,
Virginia,
North Carolina.
They'll choose what big boy conference they want to go to.
Right. Some will go to the Big 10. Some will go to the SEC. It'll be fun. Yeah. We'll have Coke, Pepsi, and Dr. Pepper. That's all we'll be left with. And then the ACC will scramble to try to be Sprite.
No, they'll be RC Cola. They're not even good enough to be Sprite, David.
Wow.
Royal Crown Cola. That's what they've become. Miller and Moulton, the starting 5, 25 minutes away right here.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung has successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida for over 30 years. As a former prosecutor, the information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, a criminal matter, or involved in an auto accident, call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. I'm a local attorney with local knowledge to assist you through the process. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Offices in Fort Myers.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Hey y'all, it's Ben Allen. When it comes to singing and performing live shows, I'm in my comfort zone. When it comes to wanting to surprise my wife with diamonds, I'm a bit lost. That's why I go see my friends Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. Jason and Todd helped me blow my wife away when we got engaged, and I've been applauding them ever since. If you're in the market for diamonds this holiday season, Southwest Florida has been giving Jason and Todd a standing ovation for over 20 years. Go see them and let Jason and Todd know that Ben Allen sent you.
Thanks, Ben. We're proud of you and your confidence and thrilled that you are part of our Diamond District family.
This holiday season, visit Jason and me at the Diamond District. We look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network. All right. What is your favorite Thanksgiving side dish? Do we just limit it to mashed potatoes and stuffing?
Yeah, what else could even make the list?
Right. And then I might follow it with worst Thanksgiving side dish.
Do we do that on Friday after people have been forced to have one of them?
Right.
Well, so what are the options for worst?
DC, he's running the board Friday. Trent leaves after the show. Yeah, we put it to a vote, candidate relief. We're not going to have one of those this year. I just said, who likes the green bean casserole? Turns out only 2 of the people did. So it's like, well, we're not going to do it.
I make green beans almondine. I don't need soft green beans with a bunch of crap in it. And that's really so there's something green on the table. It's a color thing.
With the stovetop
stuffing. Get the hell out of here with your box stuffing. I've made 2 loaves of bread just for the stuffing.
There you go, Adam. Just keep tweaking. Keep tweaking.
The hell.
Son of a...
$6,000 on a 9-team parlay, and he buys a box of stuffing for $1.29.
Yeah, $4,000, right?
You know
Adam?
Adam, you're gonna need all that toilet paper you sell to wipe your backside after eating stovetop stuffing.
By the way, we didn't hear from Dolphin yesterday, right? Adam won the 18 parlay. What happened to
he West Coast Dolphin?
That's it. He won his money. He's done with us.
Whoa. KW, don't be.
Listen,
the highs are 79. You could maybe somewhere. They're not like that here. Don't scare me with highs in the 60s.
They will next week in Jacksonville. That's what it's going to be.
I don't care.
I know.
live in Jacksonville.
I just screw you.
Damn. Might as well live in Michigan,
Georgia. There. Just Valdosta. Might as well be in High Point, North Carolina.
Exactly.
And a side of hamburger helper. Golly.
Look at Moulton with a turkey emoji in his tweet.
Huh?
What the hell is going on?
Feeling it this morning. Yeah.
God, do you remember when Zito and Garrett would have gravy wrestling?
No, but God, that sounds great.
Instead of mud wrestling, they had gravy wrestling. And Garrett every year would drink some of the gravy. I saw a guy that resembled him the other day, and I think I laughed for 15 minutes thinking of Bob Garrett in the car.
Well, I know when the Bengals wanted when they beat the Raiders in the playoffs a few years ago, I remember thought about Bob and go, oh God, would be awesome if Bob were still here to see his Bengals win a playoff game.
That could be Canada, but it's too late. What's your favorite side dish? Stuffing or mashed potatoes? There are no other options. Everything else is just there for the one guy that likes it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a side dish that beats, for me, mashed potatoes. I don't know.
I'm a stuffing guy. It's the whole point of Thanksgiving.
I like it all. Mashed potatoes is probably my favorite, though. Slice of cherry pie.
Cherry pie?
That's what Adam says.
Oh.
She's my...
You know, that could have been one. Cherry, apple, pumpkin.
Here we go.
Pecan.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
21 minutes past the hour on this Thanksgiving Eve. We'll be off tomorrow. We will do a show on Friday, however. Got a great guest list lined up. Pat Kerwin's going to join us. JP Shadrick's going to join us. That's after he calls the Lions-Packers game tomorrow on Westwood One. He's got this little ditty on Saturday, Mark. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's Michigan and Ohio State.
You know, obviously I grew up in Michigan with this game being what it is. I've been to this game before in Ann Arbor. But after Michigan took nearly a decade off of college football,
Right.
to have them back and to
Right.
have Ohio State at the top of their game.
Uh-huh.
And now 3 years in a row where both these teams have had it.
Uh-huh.
This game has such juice.
Yeah.
It is the Iron Bowl kind of almost replaced it for a while when Michigan was so bad and struggling. The Michigan-Ohio State game's taken its rightful place back as the quintessential game of Thanksgiving weekend, the rivalry game.
Hey, David, real quick. When we got here this morning, Mark he says to me, hey, what do you think happened Saturday? And I said, Michigan, Ohio State? And he looked at me like I was insane. He goes, is there anything else going on Saturday? It's good.
Yeah, there's a few things, but not before 3:30. You know, we got to get the little noon showdown out of the way first.
Well, my son's flying in for Thanksgiving. We were talking about what we're doing this weekend. I said, I don't know. I said, Saturday, I want to watch the game. And he goes, so do I. He's a Georgia fan. He's a huge Georgia fan. He doesn't care about Big Ten football. He wants to watch Michigan and Ohio State.
So, but that's JP Shadrick's little
What a weekend.
His little Thanksgiving holiday here.
Then he's got to get back to Jacksonville for pre and post of a huge game for the Jags.
For first place in the AFC South, Jags and Texans, right.
What a weekend for JP.
I know.
Good for
Very
him.
happy. Very happy for him. So he will join us on Friday. Got a heck of a show lined up today. Lee Sterling makes his picks. Got his game of the week right last week. I believe that's 3 out of 4 on the game of the week. Seth Everett to join us for his weekly visit. Adam Beasley of Pro Football Network. He covers the Dolphins. So we'll do a hardcore Dolphins segment. And the doc makes a house call. He does it a day early because he ain't working on a holiday. Take your fantasy questions. Give you some answers with Dr. Roto. So that's our show. We'll even have an interview in the bonus hour for those of you that listen to the Diamond District bonus hour. So there, at least it's scheduled. I don't know if it'll happen, but it's scheduled. So there. But hey, so I'm on the plane and I've got the TV on. It was the second
Rocky
flight.
4?
No.
Okay. It's an iconic movie. I don't know if you recall.
That's what I was told yesterday.
Yes.
Trent enlightened the both of us that Rocky 4 is, quote, an iconic movie. Right.
Ugh.
Iconic.
Right.
Not Rocky. Rocky 4.
4.
Right. Got it. Is there anything with 4 in it besides the final 4 that's iconic? You know?
Well,
the 4 horsemen. Okay.
Right, there you go.
All right.
There you
Final
go.
4 horsemen.
We think the Frozen 4 is iconic, but it doesn't even qualify to that level on a national basis.
If they held it in Tampa every year, a generation from now, it would be iconic. Hello.
the Beatles.
Well, that's the Fab 4. Okay. All right. So, but not Rocky 4, by the way. Does Rocky 4 seem out of place, Trent, when we go?
When you go Fab 4, Final 4?
You
the
know,
Beatles,
yeah,
right?
and admittedly, yesterday when we were talking after the show, I kind of explained myself a little bit. I say some things sometimes, and David will just, and I say it, and as soon as it comes out of my mouth, I'm like, David is going to just rip me to pieces here. As I'm saying it, and I know it's coming, but I just
You can't help yourself. You're 24 years old. That's to be expected. Okay, it is. That's all right. You know, trust me. We're still very fond of you. Doesn't what idiotic things on a sports talk show? Huh? That doesn't get you in trouble. It could get you promoted. I mean, so, don't worry about it. So where was I?
On your flight.
Yes. So I had 2 flights yesterday. The second one was very short. So I don't watch a movie if I can't complete it. And so I just had the TV on. And I'm kind of dozing off and what have you. And near the end of the flight, the college football playoff show comes on. Really? Really? And so, the dog and pony show and this, that, and the other thing. And at the beginning of the show, you know what they have? They have that shot of the 12 men sitting around the conference table outside of Dallas. And I'm like, oh, you guys are working really hard. That's cute. Look at you there. There's Barry Alvarez. And I'm like, man, you guys thinking how much money you guys spent over the last 2+ days. Who'd you charge this?
What a great gig.
Yeah.
Fly in, eat for a couple days, fly out.
Yep. Not like you couldn't do this via Zoom.
Nope. No,
Like
got to be face to face.
Right. What are you talking? Yeah. So that you could put Liberty in at 25. You had to meet in person about this. But we knew it was coming. This committee hadn't done a damn thing for like a month. Top 5 was the same, 6, 7, 8. Oregon, Texas, Alabama. I mean, honestly, top 8. What they flip? Oh, the 1 week they had Ohio State and Georgia second, and then they switched them back. I think that was actually that was an error. I think the original poll was an error. They didn't want to admit it. So it happened though.
Yep.
They moved Florida State out. They moved Washington ahead of them.
Well, David, it was because of Washington's resume, they said.
Which is
their
funny.
win last week.
Right.
Because their resume had been really good all year long.
I was going to say, you could have ranked them ahead of Florida State to begin with, right? But, okay, winning at Oregon State, very good win, by the way. I mean, ranked 11th in your poll, so that's a quality win. It's one of the best wins of the year in college football. So one of the best road wins, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Texas at Alabama, that's the best road win of the year, right? And Washington and Oregon State, probably the second best road win of the year.
If you're going to go by the ranking system, I think it has to be, David.
Right. So, but, so there they are. They're 5. And it begs the question, the loser of Michigan, Ohio State, can they lose and stay ahead of Florida State? If they lose, will they stay ahead of Oregon, Texas, Alabama? If Georgia were to lose to Alabama after winning 29 in a row, how far do they drop? Do they stay ahead of Florida State? Are they at the top of the one-loss list? So is Georgia essentially ahead of Oregon, Texas, no matter what?
And are they ahead of Ohio State and Michigan?
Correct.
That's the bigger question.
And remember, the loser of Ohio State, Michigan will be 11-1, while if Georgia loses to Alabama, they will be 12-1. Just
As will
something
Texas,
to consider.
if they went out. Oregon, if they went out.
Right.
As well.
And they will be conference champions versus Georgia and the loser of Ohio State, Michigan, who in our scenario would not be. So there you go. Mark, they only have 2 more times they can meet. There's only 2 more times they can spend money on the corporate credit card.
They're probably running out of things to order on the room service menu at this point, so that's a good thing, David.
In fact, they probably have said, hey, can you guys add something to the menu, to be honest with you?
We need a new hotel. I'm bored with this place. I've had everything on the menu. I've had all the drinks. I need something new.
We can cancel this reservation and go right across the street. Mark, you're the chef on the show. What would you cook for them?
Beef Wellington, something that takes a lot of time.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Hey, y'all, it's Ben Allen. When it comes to singing and performing live shows, I'm in my comfort zone. When it comes to wanting to surprise my wife with diamonds, I'm a bit lost. That's why I go see my friends Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. Jason and Todd helped me blow my wife away when we got engaged, and I've been applauding them ever since. If you're in the market for diamonds this holiday season, Southwest Florida has been giving Jason and Todd a standing ovation for over 20 years. Go see them and let Jason and Todd know that Ben Allen sent you.
Thanks, Ben. We're proud of you and your accomplishments and thrilled that you are part of our Diamond District family.
This holiday season, visit Jason and me at the Diamond District. We look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Hey, Ambient. Yeah, I just watched that reel. Did you see what he sent in the?
Yeah, I didn't.
It's the it's the Family Guy. It's so stupid, but it's hilarious. It's the horse that has a broken leg, and the guy comes out with a shotgun. He's like, "How's it feel?" And he's like, "It's feeling fine," because he doesn't want to get killed, right? The guy's about to shoot the horse, and he grabs the shotgun and shoots him in the leg. The horse does. I don't know. It's funny. How do you like it? That type of thing. Broncos in 2023. They're back. Never been a big Family Guy guy.
No?
No. I mean, this day and age, you see it everywhere. It's on social media all the time, but I just don't.
I like it.
If you're in the mood for it, it's hilarious.
I like Family Guy. I like South Park. I like all of those. They're dumb sophomore humor. They make me smile. It's land grant week. That's why I wore the shirt, David.
James at Ford Field.
I know. My buddy is going up to Michigan for Thanksgiving with his family. His sister's doctor basically purchased a suite, was taking the whole family to the game, and now they moved it to Ford Field, and they're not going.
I mean, it would be awesome if State was having a good year.
It would be.
Because it would be in the, I still think they'll get a decent amount of pull just because it's in Detroit and it's the holidays. So people will, like the people that are going for the Lions game who are Sparties, they might as well just stay and go to the next day.
So, in other words, come into town to spend time with family, only not spend time with family, go to two
Correct.
football games.
Well, if you're coming into town for the Lions game already, then you're already coming for football. So then you might as well, if you're a Spartan fan. I'm not talking about the masses here, David. It's already a small percentage of people that are willing to go to the Lions game on Thanksgiving anyways.
Ambient, do you think they finish this, by the way? Or do you think this is just a spurt? Because like the Jets got the 7-4 last year and lost out. Or do you think the Broncos are going to be able to make the playoffs?
Let's play the schedule game. Browns.
Where?
Home.
Win.
At Texans. They got a 3-game roadie after that, David. At Texans, at Chargers, at Lions. That's their season. Because they could lose all 3 of those games.
Well, they got to beat the Texans. They got to beat the Texans then with the 2 after that.
Then they could win their last 3. But
Okay,
if
so
let's say they go 1-2, they're 2-2 for those games. They're 7
they're 7-7. They got to win out.
Home for the Patriots.
Yeah.
8-7. Home for the Chargers. And then at the Raiders.
That's.
I think they're beating the Chargers twice.
No way.
No way.
No. The Chargers. They'll be chargering. They'll screw it up.
Who's going to be their next coach?
If it's not Belichick.
Harbaugh? Is there any chance Harbaugh takes that over Chicago?
I don't think he'd go to L.A.
Okay.
He actually coached the University of San Diego. That was his first college job.
Mm-hmm.
He went from there to Stanford. If they were still in San Diego, I think there's a chance. But he's got that young kid now. I think he stays in the Midwest. I think he's coaching the Bears.
Wait a minute. I need another highlight here. What is going on here? Orlando.
Here we go.
Looks.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes before the top of the hour. Lee Sterling joins us at the top of the hour. Seth Everett, 1 hour from now. Adam Beasley from Pro Football Network in our 8 o'clock hour. We'll talk Dolphins. By the way, the Dolphins are in first place heading into Thanksgiving. 15 years, right? I'm trying to even think in 08 because they started 0-2 and 1-3 that year and then went on the big run. Trying to think if they were even in first place heading into Thanksgiving weekend that year, that they went 11-5. They tracked down the Patriots and had the tiebreaker. So, I mean, it's, we shouldn't just take this, hey, the Dolphins are in first place on Thanksgiving, for granted. Although they were 8-3 last year and then lost 5 in a row. So.
Dolphins in first. Jags in first.
Right.
And Bucks still right in it.
Bucks, if they had held on to that game against the Texans, would be in first. They'd be tied for first and own the tiebreaker.
And Jacksonville fans saying right now, yeah, why didn't you hold on to that lead?
Yeah, come on. 46 seconds, for goodness sakes. What's wrong with you guys? Hey, there were a couple of interesting things that happened in the sports world yesterday, which is why it's time now for...
The Starting Five. 5 stories you need to know. It's the Starting Five on Miller and Moulton. Here's number 1.
Well, number 1's that college football playoff committee. They did a lot of hard work over the last 2-3 days. Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Washington would be the playoff if the playoff started this weekend. Florida State would be out, but they're at 5. Since Ohio State and Michigan are playing Saturday, they win out, they're in, right? Who knows? The whole one-loss trio remains the same. Oregon, Texas, Alabama in that order. That hasn't changed. Louisville's number 10. That should help Florida State, right?
Yep.
Louisville can beat Kentucky this week, which is no sure thing.
Which I think's not a big if, but I definitely think it's an if.
Well, put it this way. Which game are you more confident in? Florida State winning at Florida or Louisville beating Kentucky? I'm guessing point spreads around the same for both, right? 6.5, 7.
I'm looking right now.
Liberty, who's undefeated, they found a way to get them in the top 25. They're still not the highest rated, non-Power 5 conference team. That would be Tulane, but they're there.
Louisville's a 7-point favorite for what it's worth.
Well, and Florida State 6.5, right?
Right.
So there you go. Hey,
if I didn't want to put a Thanksgiving question up there, that would be a good poll question.
By the way, what is our Thanksgiving?
What's your favorite side? Mashed potatoes or stuffing? There are no other answers. I don't want to hear from you mac and cheese people. I don't want to hear from you sweet potato casserole people. It's mashed potatoes or stuffing.
Yeah, I don't want to hear from you people. Mark, since you're wearing your Michigan State shirt in honor
Land
of,
grant week.
Right, the land grant trophy being awarded. That's Biggie. What's that? Is that like
dumbest damn trophy in sports?
Is that like the 13th Big Ten trophy that they have?
When Penn State came into the league, they tried to establish this Penn State-Michigan State rivalry.
Right.
They tried to manufacture a rivalry.
Yes, they did. Still are.
And it
How's
doesn't
that
work.
going?
Terribly.
Right. Well, the Michigan State AD reportedly, Mark, he wanted to get rid of Mel Tucker back in the spring.
Right.
And
Begging
apparently,
the question, they've known this for a lot longer than they let on.
well, but we knew that when the story broke. And it's like, well, you've known this for months. And that's when the AD reportedly wanted to get rid of him. The people the AD answered to said, no, we're not getting rid of him. Oh, okay. Well, then this is on you. Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders. He's not feeling well. Don't know if that's the flu or a concussion or what, but they say he's not feeling well and he's day to day. So he may not play Saturday against Utah in their season finale. Pitt and Wisconsin announce they're going to open the 2027 season in Dublin. Okay. Little
Wisconsin will travel to that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a road drinking game right there. They are all in.
Do you know the only other time Wisconsin played on the road? Gary Danielson and Brad Nessler called the game. It was in Tokyo. It was when Wisconsin won to go to the Rose Bowl. I think they played Michigan State. Could be wrong about that. But they played in Tokyo in 93. It's the only other time Wisconsin's played outside the borders. Pitt hasn't played outside the borders since 89. So, anyway. Maction last night. 2 road teams won and covered. Bowling Green 34-10 over Western Michigan. Eastern Michigan 24-11 over Buffalo. NFL news. I'll tell you, the Colts, they're an interesting organization. You got to give them that. They're interesting. You're the beat writer for the Colts. It's lively. They released Shaquille Leonard yesterday, about an hour and a half after they announced they were benching him. He had been wondered, how come my playing time's going down? He said, guess I should have kept my mouth shut. Guess they didn't like me wondering what was going on. If you're the Bills, don't you have to pick him up? I mean, I know he's had 2 back surgeries last year. Colts claim he's not the player that he was before that. He was a tackling machine before that. You're trying to replace Milano, right? Don't you have to bring him in for a look-see? If you're the Bills? Aaron Rodgers is jogging.
More than Miller and Moulton are doing.
More than a lot of us are doing. And he tore his Achilles 10 weeks ago. He says he thinks he'll be able to practice in 2 weeks. Can the Jets possibly give him a reason to come back for? That's what I guess we'll find out. Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas, he's on IR with a knee injury. This will be his final year, and they'll move on from him after this year. Earliest he can come back is December 21st on a Thursday against the Rams. Packers running back Aaron Jones, left knee MCL sprain. They feared the worst on Sunday. Turns out it's just a sprain. I mean, he's not playing tomorrow against the Lions, but he'll be back a lot sooner than they had feared. And Did you hear what Brady had to say yesterday? Tell you what, I don't think he's going to do a game for Fox, but if he does, I'm kind of interested now. If he's going to be like this, we don't have an analyst like this. This would be Johnny Miller in the NFL booth. Tom Brady says, I got to admit, I look around the NFL right now, I see a lot of mediocrity. Bring that to the booth, please.
League would love it.
Not
at all.
Please bring that to the booth.
He's right.
I beg of him. I really do. If that's how you feel, say it. You're Tom Brady. I mean, come on. Arguably the greatest football player of all time. I said arguably. Certainly the most accomplished. And if he's in the booth going, I got to admit there, Burkhart, this game is lousy. What wasn't lousy was Monday Night Football. And apparently you watched.
Oh, yes, you did.
Most watched football game of the year. Most watched football game since Thanksgiving of last year, at least regular season. Highest rated Monday Night Football game since Bill Clinton's first term in the White House, 1996. Hello. 29 million. Hell, nearly 2 million of you watched the Manning cast also. Wow. Do you know the 3 highest rated games of the year this year all involve the Eagles? That's interesting, though. Not the Cowboys. I mean, one of
them was, I'm sure.
Right, but all 3 involve the Eagles. Eagles, Jets, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles, Chiefs. That's 3-2-1 on the ratings meter so far. I don't know. I find that interesting. College hoops. Florida State with a nice win last night. They beat a top 20 team, Colorado, in overtime, 77-71. Maui Invitational, some good hoop. 7th-ranked Tennessee lost to 2nd-ranked Purdue, 71-67. And number 1 Kansas goes down. Marquette beat them. Teams were yelling at each other. Coaches were yelling at each other. There we go. All right. Marquette won by 14. 73-59. In-state, FIU lost to Loyola Marymount. They're 1-6. And Stetson beat Central Michigan 71-61. The Hatters are 3-2. By the way, I didn't report this yesterday. Maybe I was sleep deprived. My bad. The Fort Myers tip-off announced their 2024 field. Mark, Michigan's coming your way next year.
Yep.
Michigan, Xavier, Vatech, and South Carolina. That place will be packed. NBA, they're doing that in-season play-in tournament, and let me tell you, people are responding. People have no idea what the hell it is. But apparently, Indiana and the Lakers clinched titles last night. At least their division title. They now get to host the quarterfinal matchup. Indiana rallied to beat Atlanta. This is in regulation, folks. 157-152. 157-152.
Well, it's all because of this tournament. Without the tournament, they would have never played that hard. It's an in-season tournament game, David. It's a huge success.
And the Lakers beat Utah 131-99. So LeBron can add winning the in-season division title to his resume. How does that affect his legacy? We'll have more on Get Up later next hour. Phoenix beat Portland by 13. Cavs, who are shorthanded, went into Philly, beat the Sixers in overtime, 122-119. And by the way, give it up to the Orlando Magic, who've won 4 straight. I'm telling you, Orlando's going to be this year's Sacramento from last year. They beat Toronto 126-107. They're 9-5. We had no hockey last night. Both the Lightning and Panthers in action tonight. Lightning hosting Winnipeg. Panthers hosting Bruins. I'll tell you what, that's what I'm watching tonight. That'll be fun. And it was released yesterday, and I mentioned this for the two of you. Amazon.
Yeah.
Bye Bye Barry was released yesterday on Amazon Prime Video.
I'm pretty sure Trent and the family, right after the Lions game, are going to sit down collectively and all watch that instead of the Cowboy game.
100%. That's the plan. No one's watching it. We're all watching it together over the vacation.
In which I guess he opens up and tells the 100% truth as to why it is he walked away at age 31, when he would have, if he had continued to perform the way that he had been performing, he would have passed Walter Payton as the NFL's all-time leading rusher late in the 99 season, right? Didn't he walk away?
Yeah.
Either 99 or 2000. I think it was 99, because I was still in
Well,
Fargo. I was still in Fargo when the season started, and they were going to play the Vikings late in the year, and we were doing the math, yards per game, going, ooh, he might set the record against the Vikings. And then he said, yeah, I'm done. So Bye Bye Barry, released on Amazon yesterday.
A friend of mine who is the biggest Lions fan I know. I mean, more so than even Trent, maybe just because of age, but he travels to the road games. He's done pretty well for himself, season ticket holder and all that stuff. And he was able to go to the premiere in Detroit at the Fox Theater and said that I thought I knew everything there was to know and learned quite a bit during this documentary.
8 minutes before the hour, that was
the Starting Five every weekday morning at this time on Miller and Moulton.
There you go.
You know what I find interesting is if the way running backs are these days, if Barry would have gotten the record, he never would have lost it because they don't get enough tread on their tires nowadays.
Well, no, that's not true because Emmett passed.
Emmett passed.
So
right, but if I guess that's true. But if Barry would have kept playing another 5 years, like he maybe should have, you never know.
Well, what I'm curious about, does the documentary address him nearly coming back with the Dolphins? You know, both Barry Sanders and Troy Aikman were inches away from both coming back with the Dolphins after they had retired. So
glad they didn't.
Yeah.
Really am.
Worked out okay.
Lee Sterling to make his picks. That's next, right here. Thanks for listening, Miller and Moulton.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Hey y'all, it's Ben Allen. When it comes to singing and performing live shows, I'm in my comfort zone. When it comes to wanting to surprise my wife with diamonds, I'm a bit lost. That's why I go see my friends Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. Jason and Todd helped me blow my wife away when we got engaged, and I've been applauding them ever since. If you're in the market for diamonds this holiday season, Southwest Florida has been giving Jason and Todd a standing ovation for over 20 years. Go see them and let Jason and Todd know that Ben Allen sent you.
Thanks, Ben. We're proud of you and your accomplishments and thrilled that you are part of our Diamond District family.
This holiday season, visit Jason and me at the Diamond District. We look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
You were listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
We're not doing picks till Friday, right?
Correct.
Although I will say this, I will allow, if there's a game tomorrow that you would want on your thing, I'd allow you to just.
I might add a fun 3 just for tomorrow's games.
Okay.
Because I do like the Lions.
Well, where are you?
I'm in New York City. My daughter's apartment.
I was going to say, I was wondering, where are you?
Yeah. So
did you get in yesterday?
No, we got in Sunday night.
That's right. You've been there all week.
Yeah. Be here till Monday. So
how's the city treating you?
Good so far. I went to the doubleheader on Monday. Louisville and Indiana was the losers bracket game, and UConn in Texas. Say something. UConn is something. Can be tough to beat them.
Yeah, they're athletic.
They're tall.
Yeah.
Play defense.
Right. Well, you have to. You don't play defense for Hurley.
Yeah.
But
the only thing I think they're negative is he's not real good at working the officials.
Right.
That's the only weakness you can find in the team. It's going to be tough to beat them.
So are you going to do all 23 of your hits there from the apartment today?
So I usually do on a Thursday, do 21, 22, and Friday, like 31, 32. I'm only doing my bigger shows. So I think I've got 19 or 20.
So you chose us instead of Pocatello, Idaho?
That's it. You're the only one at 7. I don't have another one. You were coming anyway. So who do you have this weekend?
Iron Bowl for me, and then Bears Vikings.
Okay.
They thought about switching out of it, but I have a feeling we're going to switch out of December 18th. We're supposed to be at Foxborough for Chiefs Patriots.
Oh yeah.
I have a feeling we're going to switch and do Eagles Seahawks in Seattle.
Oh, I could see that. It's a long ride for you, huh?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm $700 away from reaching gold medallion on Delta.
Oh,
so
wow.
I need one trip.
Okay. Are they fly you first class?
No, take it easy.
No
now.
way. No
First
way.
class.
No way.
Hey, please.
No.
I'm lucky if I can get an aisle seat.
Wow.
So, is your daughter working at all?
Yeah, she works as a bartender at American.
No, I meant in the play. Like, is she?
Oh, not right now. Not
No?
currently.
Okay.
Not currently. I'm taking both girls to.
Well,
Park
tonight could be her biggest night of the year. I mean, for bars, this is a huge night for bars.
She's not working tonight. She's babysitting the dog tonight as I'm taking my wife to Billy Joel in the garden. So
all right.
she took off the week. She worked almost every day last week.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
And joined by Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports, ParamountSports.com, 800-400-9741. Lee normally joins us from his South Florida home, but he joins us this morning from New York City. He's in the city for the holiday with his daughter. You know, it's going to be a little colder, a little rainier. You going to take in Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
We are. We're going to do it tomorrow morning. But tonight, Billy Joel. So,
well, it sounds like it's been a hell of a week and hell of a weekend. But Lee, we've had you on forever now, 15 years plus that we've been doing this with you. And I always remember this time of year having you on, and you were getting ready to quarterback the big family football game. And now you're in New York City going to concerts. Something's happened, Lee.
We're still going to do the turkey bake off. So one daughter will be making, I'm at Billy Joel tonight, huckleberry pie, and the other banana cream pie. So look for it. We're probably going to post it about noon tomorrow. We're going to have the bake off, and I will judge it. We're going to bring 2 slices of pie to the Macy's Day Parade. So look for that on Twitter at Paramount Sports.
Before we go any further.
Yeah.
So our poll question of the day, best side, mashed potatoes, stuffing. Which is it?
Stuffing.
All right, let's get to the games. Canes are playing Boston College. 9's the number. Miami played hard last week against Louisville. There was no letdown after the loss to Florida State. Will they continue to play hard and take care of a BC team that they are much more talented than?
They don't give you hardware for playing hard. They gotta have some breakthroughs. They got to finish strong and win this game and probably win a bowl. It's amazing is they're not losing any recruits, but it's evidently clear that they're going to have to find a quarterback. Don't think Emory Williams is the guy. Miami's lost 3 of the last 4 times against the spread going to Boston College. Weather today and tomorrow is going to be fine. It's Friday. It's going to be cold, probably upper 30s for the Canes when they play there. Not going to want any part of that weather. Quarterback running around all over the place. If Miami's smart, they play it like Temple. Just run right at them and just get out. But 9 points, that's a lot here for this Miami team. I think Miami wins the game 34-30, but I'll take the 9 in BC.
Now, I will say, I think the line is slowly going down. So if you want the points, I think jump it now because I've seen it in some spots in the 8-ish range.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting matchup for the obvious reasons. Undefeated Noles facing a Gators team that needs to win to be bowl eligible. Both teams lose their starting quarterbacks last week. We think it affected the line 2-3 points. It's 6.5 right now. Florida State favorite over Florida.
I think the line 6.5. It would have been 9.5. So you're right on. Still, I mean, Tate Rodemaker, he's been around for a long time. He knows the system. Sure, it's a downgrade, but Florida's going to go with an experienced quarterback, better offensive and defensive line, more playmakers, deeper, probably better coached. I'm going to take Florida State here. I think they win this game here 30-20.
Well, this is the one I've been waiting to hear you predict because this is the game. No Harbaugh. The end of his 3-game suspension. They were able to take care of Penn State without much of a problem. Maryland gave him a little bit of a problem. There's this Harrison Jr. guy in Ohio State that gives everybody's problems. How do you see Michigan and Ohio State, Lee?
Another game with the lines, offensive and defensive lines. I think are going to make the difference here. A lot of people will judge it based on the last game. Michigan finally had a tough game, and sometimes that's good to get through something like that. Maryland's done it to quite a few teams, can't pull off the win, but just think that this Michigan team can run the ball better, and they've totally dominated the line of scrimmage the last 2 years. Is it as much as maybe the last 2 years? Maybe not, but still think their quarterback can run around, make some plays, and Not going to be easy. Home field might be also an advantage here. Also, a few extra legal procedures here and there. I'm going to go with Michigan. This is not going to be the choice of the 50-star play of the decade, but I think Michigan's the right side, 27-20.
And 3 or 3.5. I've seen it both. So, depending on which way you're going, pay attention to that. All right, let's head to, in one case, it's Sunday, and it's for first place in the AFC South. Jacksonville, I've seen it 1, 1.5, and 2. Pick the number. Jacksonville, a very slight road favorite against a Texans team that whooped them in Jacksonville earlier in the year.
Oh, they got their attention now. They prepared for that first game, and Miko Ryans, the defensive coach, had a lot of blitzes. They were going all out, even had a couple zero blitzes in that game. And Jacksonville's been known to have some lapses. Nice how they bounced back after San Francisco. Sometimes it's a hangover after you just get dominated in a game, not Jacksonville. I like the fact that they use their backs out of the backfield. I think that's going to give Houston some problems. Houston still has a lot of weaknesses. I mean, C.J. Stroud is great, but we saw, first time last week threw 3 interceptions, and Jacksonville, number 1 team in takeaways. So I think Jacksonville's going to repay that favor there. There's a system. You lose at home, you go on the road, and you got the return game, and people think, oh, well, team dominated the first game, they'll win the second game. Usually not the case. It's about 63.5%, 64% over the last decade. We'll take Jacksonville here. I have them winning this game here, 31-23.
Black Friday, Miami takes on the Jets. You're going to go to the game. I know that, Lee.
Yep.
Jets, the Dolphins, a big favorite in the game. The Jets have been broken all year. Now no Zach Wilson. I don't know if that fixes them or if they're already beyond repair.
I would rather face Zach.
Yeah.
I'm a Dolphins fan. I mean, the turnovers. I mean, he just gets in the game and the indecision on his part, holding the ball. I guess it's just not like practice with the guy. So that's going to be a real problem for them. Their defense now showing some leaks here. Dolphins came out of the bye just a little bit flat, and I thought the Raiders played well. Played a lot of too high coverage and just made Miami go underneath. Could not hit on any long balls. Hit a couple slants. They turned into bigger plays, but you got to give the Raiders credit where credit's due, and I think Miami will come back, play a little bit better here. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think Miami wins the game 23-10, 9.5-10. I'd take Miami, but just a small lean.
Game of the week, Colts and Bucks. Big game for both. Indy's very much in the playoff race at 5-5, and the Tampa Bay, obviously, it's going to be tough to not be in the NFC South race all year. Lines around 2.5. Colts are favored at home. It's your game of the week. How do they get it?
Yep, just call 800-400-9741. Got a real strong feeling. One side of that game, 800-400-9741, and it's back. Turkey shootout, 15 games from tomorrow all the way through Sunday night. Had some incredible 13-2, 12-3, 11-4 finishes. Maybe this is the year we go 14-1 or 15-0. So feel good about that. And anyone wants to come on board or check out other videos, just go to the website, ParamountSports.com.
Lee Sterling, 800-400-9741, ParamountSports.com. Follow him on Twix, Twitter/X at Paramount Sports. Lee, we're thankful for your loyalty and what you've given us over 15 plus years. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, and enjoy everything that you guys have planned. It's quite the holiday weekend, buddy.
It is. Same to you guys and your families and staff and all the listeners out there. Happy, healthy, and a safe Thanksgiving weekend.
Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com, 800-400-9741. He only likes one underdog. He's taken BC in the points against the Canes. It's somewhere between 8 and 9. And otherwise, he's laying the points with the Noles, with Michigan, with Jacksonville, and with the Dolphins. I agree with him, by the way. I think the change at quarterback, if I'm the Dolphins, I'm like, no,
I want Zach.
no, the guy who I know is not any good. No, and I don't think Tim Boyle's any good, but
But he can't be as bad as Zach.
Zach. Come on. I mean, for goodness sakes. I mean, who knows? Maybe Tim Boyle's Tommy DeVito.
Tim Boyle is terrible. I will say that.
Okay.
Zach Wilson terrible?
I don't think so, but go look at his numbers.
That's what we're talking about.
Can't
Okay, there's
believe it.
degrees of terrible. Zach Wilson is certified terrible.
Is he
He's
the worst
got the
significant
good
mistake?
housekeeping seal of terrible.
Yes, because he played so long. I mean, Nathan Peterman didn't get the opportunity to stink this bad. They had enough of him.
Right. 2 quarters, and they're like, wow, you can't play. Okay. And Jets should have done that with Zach Wilson, but instead they gave him 2.5 years.
So unique, too, because this defense has won them some games, so they kind of keep winning, sort of, and they're treading water, and then they're like, oh, we can't bench our quarterback. Yeah, you can, actually, and you should have a long time ago.
I hope Miami runs the ball. Mostert's 4 yards a carry every time. Give him the ball. Soften this defense up. Play the long game. They're not going to do anything offensively against you. They complete a couple passes. You'll put Ramsey on Garrett Wilson. That'll end that. Just take your time in this game, Miami. Take your time. Don't be like Josh Allen against the Jets most days. Not like you did last weekend when, wow, about time Josh Allen showed up. Just take your time. You're better than them.
Run the damn ball.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
What do you think if the Jets play well? Seriously, if they play well with Boyle at quarterback, what's the best they can get to?
On their own, okay? Not defense setting them up. On their own. 20 max. And I mean, that's playing well. I mean, Breece Hall's a weapon. Okay, so at max on their own, they could score 20.
Right, max. And if you do what you talked about, slow the game down, well, then that 20, realistically, David, becomes 17.
Yeah, right. But I'm just saying max, hit a couple plays.
I know.
And,
I understand what you're saying. But even with what you're saying, I'm just saying if you slow it down, that might take it to 17. Just run the ball, beat them up, and get out with the win. Miller and Moulton. Thanks for listening right here on the Florida Sports Network.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
I wonder what an NBA court costs.
Like the wood?
Yeah, because they obviously had to bring up another one for all these. They have to have a backup court for all these in-season tournaments.
Yeah, that's true. They've been doing that though lately. They've
I know.
Yeah, they have those, like when they wear their alternate.
Oh, the
uniforms,
Pistons are 0-3 in their group. I'll be damned.
The Pistons are so bad.
They really are.
They're terrible, and it's so discouraging because
And they're not getting any better.
No, they're not. They have talent too. They have young talent. They just don't win games. They've lost games this year to the Cavs without Donovan Mitchell, the Nuggets without Jokic, the Bucks without Giannis. Like guys are just taking nights off against the Pistons because they can. Okay, you guys want to take a stab at Tim Boyle's career touchdown to interception ratio?
All right.
Put it this way. He's played, like he's actually...
How many games has he played in?
So he really only got action with the Jets that one game last week and then the Lions for 5 games in 2021.
So I'm going to go with 1 to 5. 1 touchdown, 5 picks.
3 touchdowns, 9 picks.
All right.
And yeah, so he was the Packers backup for 2 years, but he only got in for victory formation. $94 attempts with the Lions in 2021, 9 picks. He is awful. I don't know how long this is going to last.
Would have been my guess, KW. 80 was in my head for whatever reason. I don't know why. I had 80 grand in my head. You going to pop yourself on here?
Oh, yeah, sure. Forgot.
I know. Because usually you remind me by now. That's the reason I knew you forgot. By the way, that ECU play is the ESPN play of the day. It's their number one play at top 10. So don't feel guilty about running the number one.
That's what we got. The audio is just
it's good
off the charts. Like the levels of it. Hey David, can you hear us during the breaks or no?
Yeah, he was gone.
Okay, let me ask you then. You want to take a stab at Tim Boyle's touchdown to interception ratio for his career?
First off, Tim Boyle's hardly played, right? I mean, he was Rodgers' backup in Green Bay. Wasn't he an hour in Detroit?
Yeah, he had 4 starts in Detroit. So what do you think his touchdown to interception ratio is for his career?
I don't know, 2 to 4.
3 to 9.
Going with chicken dip there?
Tuna Mac.
I had tuna mac yesterday. Mark is gagging.
You're eating it like it's cereal.
It's breakfast.
Tuna mac for breakfast.
So I loved how you spelled one of the answers in the trivia question, because that's how I used to pronounce it when I was a kid. Okay. So it's potatoes.
Oh, did I?
And so I saw it and I laughed. I go, that's perfect.
Oh, well.
No, leave it. I know. Ambient Mark's face is just horror. What a pure horror.
Here we go.
Oh, man.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
21 minutes past the hour. Seth Everett will join us a little more than 15 minutes time. Adam Beasley of Pro Football Network joins us top of the hour. We're going to get into the Dolphins. We're going to dive in. The first place Miami Dolphins. How does that sound heading into the Thanksgiving holiday? Huh? Got the Eagles hosting the Bills. I mean, who knows? Just take care of business these next few weeks. Buffalo's got a tough stretch. Maybe could we possibly put an X next to the Dolphins by Christmas?
Stop it. By Christmas, maybe.
Just saying.
By Christmas, maybe. I thought you were advancing it a little too quickly there.
Well, you know, Christmas weekend, right around Christmas, that's 3 games left. Just saying. Adam Beasley to talk Dolphins. Dr. Roto, about an hour and 15 minutes away to answer your fantasy football questions. Don't submit them now. We take them in within about 30 minutes of his weekly visit. There was a bit of horror that was displayed during the commercial break. It's another reason why. I mean, if this show's not entertaining enough for you, we advise twitch.tv/Miller and Moulton, because the commercial breaks are a show unto themselves. And during the commercial break, I went and got breakfast.
David's studio is in his house.
Right.
So he has the ability to walk to the kitchen. There's a kitchen here. I think it should be quarantined.
Yes, it should be condemned. Okay.
Yes.
It's the oof. Yeah.
So, I mean, I wouldn't touch the refrigerator door, let alone put anything inside that refrigerator.
Correct. I wouldn't either. Yes.
Trent this morning I don't know if he has his donuts. Trent every morning usually has a bag of powdered donuts for breakfast.
I held off today.
Looks like he didn't stop for the donuts today.
I'm going to spend a lot of money at the airport, so I'm trying to hold back a little bit till I get there.
Maybe I'll bring you breakfast, Trent. I feel badly for anybody that young with that little money having to eat at the airport. That's
no offense. Come on. But you can buy a lot more at the convenience store than you can at the airport. Come on now.
There.
So I went and got breakfast. And, you know, it's around the holidays. I'm just using that as an excuse. Like I eat differently around the holidays than the other days of the year. But around the holidays, come on now. We throw everything out the window. There's more food than there usually is in the kitchen and in the fridge. And so, you know, wife was heading to work. She sent me a note. She said, hey, don't forget there's tuna mac. That's right. There's tuna mac. And so I went and made a plate. And I come walking in and I'm eating it with a spoon.
Like cereal. I thought David was having cereal. It's breakfast after all. I thought maybe a little Honey Nut Cheerios.
Shoveling it in.
Yes.
Just shoveling it in.
Well, that I won't hold against him. David and I have one thing in common. We can eat any meal during a commercial break.
Yes.
True story, quick sidebar. There was at Shula's Steakhouse many years ago when we were just on in this market. They had with a 48-ounce porterhouse on their menu, I think it is. And it was who could eat it the fastest, a contest. Like people registered. And David and I were in the contest. David finished second.
On a
mere second.
On a technicality.
A 48-ounce T-bone in 6.5 minutes.
What was the technicality?
The technicality was they said that I left a very small piece of meat in like a little part of the bone because I was done and moved the plate forward and I was first. And then they kind of looked at it and then they stalled just long enough for the other guy to finish. And then they put the plate back in front of me and said, you got a small piece of meat right there.
They great outdoors to you.
They did.
Candy.
Exactly.
They pulled that
the old 86er there, I think it was. But so we can knock down and consume a mass amount of food during a 5-6 minute commercial break.
Yeah, Trent, if you stay in this business, and once again, we are urging you to leave as soon as possible, but if you stay in this business, you will learn to consume large amounts of food during commercial breaks. You will time out when you get your food and you have it ready. You'll have it come 5 minutes early so it can cool off the right amount. So when the commercial break hits, you can annihilate it.
So here we are, 7:20 in the morning, and I see David with the spoon.
Right.
And it's on repeat. I mean, the arm's moving. He's got good flow.
Darn right. Yep. But then all of a sudden I start chewing. And then Mark's like, wait a minute, what is that? I go, it's tuna mac. You know what? When you say it that way, it sounds bad at before 7:30 in the morning.
I'm just thankful on this Thanksgiving week, David. I'm thankful that you were not consuming that next to me in studio, because I'm afraid that the odor of that meal could have caused major problems in the studio.
See, this is where the food snob in you, okay, comes out. Yes. Okay, I'm at the lower end of the spectrum. That's all. Okay, you're above the Mendoza line. I'm below the Mendoza line when it comes to, what we eat. Listen, if you guys want to continue, I have to admit, I have to sit here for this whole 10-minute segment staring at this huge pile of tuna mac, and I am desperately wanting to eat it.
Boy, I wish I had a text to read for you. Tuna mac at 7:20 in the morning. When did you quit adhering to the rules of eating meals at certain times? Because
when I realized they were ridiculous. Okay, honestly. Okay, what, cereal in the morning? What, you can't have it at lunch time? Or you can't have a bowl of cereal at 7 o'clock at night when your dinner wasn't quite enough, and so you just need a little something to fill you up so you're not eating the whole bag of potato chips during the game? What, you can't have a bowl of cereal at 7 o'clock? It's ridiculous. Just eat what you're going to eat. Okay, I eat my 7,000 calories a day when I want to eat them. Okay. I mean, what? I have to.
No. I'm asking when it happened. That's all I'm you.
Plus, I grew up in Jersey. We went to a diner 24/7. You can get anything at any time. Now the rage now is what? Breakfast all day. So, why can't you have lunch all day? Can't you have dinner all day? Do I really? You want me to keep eating the damn breakfast bars? I mean, do you want me to be a part of this show or not? I'm going crazy. The Think bars. I mean, they're not as bad as the Laura bars, but golly, Mark.
No, it is true. It is true. You and I are two guys that love a carb. And a carb does make you a happier person.
Yes. All right, Trent. Now that you know what to eat when, what do you got for us?
We will go to Williams Arena in Greenville, North Carolina, where Mark's Eastern Carolina Pirates are in trouble versus Kennesaw State. How late, you ask? Terrell Burden lays one up and in. Just 2 minutes left to put Kennesaw State up. 2 seconds left, excuse me. Puts them up by a deuce. Bobby Pettiford Jr. sent up a prayer.
Spins up, scores with 2.5 remaining. Pettiford, the heave for 3. Oh! He made it! The Pirates win! Oh my goodness gracious! Oh my goodness gracious! They'll check it, but I think it went in.
Oh, it went in. All right.
They'll check it. But I think it went in. We'll change our tires coming out, and we'll have a fresh set of tires on for the last lap.
Bobby Pettiford, the junior guard, rips it from half court at the buzzer for the win and a career-high 18 points. Is it March? No. Just some really solid mid-major college basketball. Tune in, people. Tune in.
Mid-major madness.
The Pirates getting it done.
And the reason they're Mark's Pirates is because, well, he sent enough money there for his son's education that he gets to claim it as well.
And that is our play of the day.
Taking down the defending ASUN champions of Kennesaw State with that prayer.
Kennesaw State covered 6.5.
The guy who was coaching at Kennesaw State did so well last year. He's now coaching South Florida.
Miller and Moulton. Seth Everett is in the on-deck circle. He is next. Adam Beasley coming up, and get your tuna mac ready on the Florida Sports Network.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung has successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida for over 30 years. As a former prosecutor, the information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, a criminal matter, or involved in an auto accident, call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. I'm a local attorney with local knowledge to assist you through the process. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Offices in Florida.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
20 years ago, Jason and I had the idea for a jewelry store like no other, with a vast selection of certified diamonds priced 8 to 12% over cost. A team of individuals who are educated, driven, and believe in cultivating relationships.
Today, we have become one of the largest independent jewelry stores in the country. Todd and I love what we do and are in the store nearly every day, along with our GIA gemologists, master jewelers, custom designers, and non-commissioned diamond consultants, all of which we consider family.
As direct diamond importers, we travel the world, forging relationships and sourcing diamonds. What we love most about our business is that we can call Southwest Florida our home.
If selection, value, and comfort are important to you, give the Diamond District an opportunity. You won't find a better diamond buying experience. Todd and I look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
At the Diamond District.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Isn't that a food that should be on two separate plates?
A food on two separate plates?
Mac and cheese, tuna.
Well,
no, there's no cheese. It's replace the cheese with tuna fish. It's macaroni and tuna fish.
It's tuna mac.
It's a tuna salad.
Oh, I am so nauseous. Oh,
Thank
my
you. I nearly
goodness.
threw up. I threw up on the air. It's as close as I've
Oh
come
my
to vomiting.
God. Wow. I
Think
love
of
you
a
guys,
cold.
but wow.
Think of a macaroni salad, like a cold macaroni salad, and then throw tuna fish in it.
I thought it was a brand name. I Googled it. I was like, that's a brand name. Like, oh, they're having tuna mac, like, Stouffer's, Swanson's. Wow. You ever watch that show, The Food That Made America?
Yes.
Oh, it's great.
That you talking about the History Channel thing that goes in like the Hines family and all that stuff.
Oh, I
very,
love it.
very
So
good. I love those. Yeah, fascinating.
Very cool. Oh my goodness.
Does it have mayo in it?
I just do this.
Not have mayo in it.
I just do this a lot, so whenever I see him chewing, I just put my hand up so I can't see that portion of the screen.
I'm thinking like the box of Kraft in one pot, and then as you're stirring it, you're adding the tuna, and it's just vomit. Wow.
My buddy Bob says this is one step removed from tuna helper.
Yes.
It's funny.
And I helped.
That's funny.
Seth, did you see what? You didn't go to the Rangers Devils game, did you?
No.
Did you see what the Devils did? Apparently, there was a guy sitting in the upper deck in an Islanders jersey.
Yes, and they said wrong game.
Okay, and
we play them
put
Tuesday.
them on the screen, and they had all sorts of text messages, imaginary text messages
Yep.
around him.
It was very funny.
Pretty funny.
Yes. Yeah. That's all my kids see on TikTok. That and Taylor Swift. My kid texted me from the middle of her math class. Nico's at practice. I love that kid. That's my source.
You don't have to cover the devil. She's doing it for you.
She's doing it for both of us. I watched this documentary yesterday on Milli Vanilli. Oh my God, it was good.
Did they talk?
Well, only one of them because the other one died.
I'm just saying.
Oh yeah,
their
he's
side.
all over it. Yeah,
Okay.
he explains the whole situation. They are not the criminals. The producer is the criminal.
They went along with it.
They were broke, living in a project. They give them this chance that all they have to do is lip sync and dance. Every one of us would have done the same thing.
They're sign stealers. That's funny, Canada Relief.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep.
They were Harbaugh before Harbaugh.
Harbaugh's the Milli Vanilli of college football.
Is it weird, Seth, to watch Syracuse basketball without Bayham on the sideline?
It's weird. It's weird. It's also been nice watching them at 2:30 in the afternoon, 2 days in a row. That's been nice. Look, they're just like 5 top 10 teams in the Maui Invitational.
Oh, it was a great
I
tournament.
think they played okay. I'm not. They're a work in progress. They've got a center though that's 7'4". Why doesn't he get the ball more?
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes before the hour. Adam Beasley of Pro Football Network. We'll talk a lot of Dolphins at the top of the hour. Dr. Roto, 1 hour from now to answer your fantasy football questions. Don't send them in just yet. We like to do that, within about 30 minutes or so of his weekly appearance. It's time for Seth Everett's weekly appearance. He moved it up for us so we could fit Adam Beasley in around our holiday schedule. Seth is yawning while joining us. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. We are very thankful for you. I hope you know that, for your friendship. Never mind what you've contributed to the show. What are you and the family doing?
What are we doing? We are hosting, but just my mom. She's had some rough spots with health, so we're excited to host her for the day. Friday, my wife and I are going to the Black Friday football game at MetLife Stadium. Your first place Dolphins going to wipe the floor with the New York Jets. We'll be home by halftime. It's going to be 44 degrees and the Jets stink. But we'll see. 20 years ago this month, we met at the press box of Giant Stadium during a Jets-Jaguars game. So we try every November to try to go to a Jets game. Kind of a
little
tradition.
nostalgic thing.
Look at that.
But they tore the stadium down.
Right, that's true. That's true. So do you just kind of gaze over at the parking lot area where it used to be?
No, we try to park there.
Oh, do you try to park there?
All right,
Hey.
Tuna Mac over there.
Hey.
Seth, will you be serving tuna mac at your Thanksgiving dinner?
No. We might serve mac, and then tuna like a week later.
Unbelievable.
Oh, gross.
Listen, we're not serving it either, okay? It's just food in the house to get you to the holiday. It's a big bowl. It's cheap. It's easy. Just like me. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, man.
Wow.
Can't believe it. Honestly.
It's a big, I'm going to a lot of sporting events. I have the Black Friday game Saturday. The whole family's going to Devils Buffalo Saturday night. And then next week after the holiday, I will be at the JMA Wireless Dome for Syracuse LSU basketball.
How weird is it? No Boeheim on the side.
It's weird. It's weird. He was the coach for 46 years. I'm 49. I don't know. I've never seen a game, let alone now 6 games. I'm rooting for him. Adrian Autry was on the team when I was a student. So we're the same age. And I rooted for him then. I'm going to root for him now.
Did you think it was time, by the way? I mean, you're a Syracuse
time
guy.
like 5 years ago.
All right. Just, hey, I many of us thought so too, but you're an alum. It's different when it gets inside.
I just think the whole landscape changed. And, the move to the ACC, they can't get NBA type recruits anymore. And so there's been a drop off. And hopefully what Adrian Autry and his staff can do is restore some semblance of, I don't want to say greatness, because in the ACC, if you're great, you're like 5th in the conference. Whereas in the Big East, if you were great, you had a chance to finish 1, 2, or 3. And that was the drama of every college basketball year. This doesn't exist. So now, you're rooting for mediocrity. The whole landscape is different. The expectations are different.
I think I have to be honest, Seth. Jim Mora Jr. made a comment I think yesterday, in which he said, don't complain about your team unless you're going to contribute to the NIL. With NIL, there is no team. And Syracuse should be good in basketball because they should be able to get the money to pay basketball players. They're not going to pay football players, but they should be able to pay 4 or 5 basketball players to have a program that's a top 20 program in the country.
You would think. I don't know what that missing disconnect. There's something's a disconnect there because NIL's been around now for a couple of seasons and Syracuse hasn't done that. If anything, their players transferred out. Joe Girard and the center, his name escapes me, left to go for their 1 extra year of eligibility because of COVID. They had 1 extra year and they went somewhere else because of an NIL deal. One dude's on Clemson. Weird.
Well, they pay in the South. Seth.
I've heard.
For all sports.
I've heard.
USC women's basketball is bringing in the huge class. They're paying, and then they're letting everybody know, hey, we're open for business, man. Dion yesterday, his quote was, "We're not an ATM. We're not going to be at the top of the NIL game," which is found interesting.
Then you're going to be mediocre.
I found that surprising because also they're going to the Big 12 with Texas and Oklahoma leaving, and you look at the new landscape of the Big 12 and you're thinking, wow, with Dion, Colorado could maybe be the biggest dog, certainly one of the big dogs in this conference. And you would think with Dion that they'd be able to play the NIL game. But he publicly yesterday was like, yeah, we're not going to be an ATM. Huh. Okay.
Does Florida State get back into the top 4 when either Ohio State beats Michigan or Michigan beats Ohio State?
I don't know, Seth. I think it's going to be style. I think it's going to be style
Dr.
points.
Roto.
I think it's going to be style points on how effectively they are. I don't think they move. It's tough because ESPN had the percentages of chances to make the playoff. Both Michigan and Ohio State have a greater than 50% chance to make the playoffs. That seems odd to me. It's playing
impossible. They're playing each other.
Right.
Right. And Washington plays Washington State in the Apple Cup, a game I have attended in the past. And they just have to destroy them.
Well, but then they'll play Oregon again. I mean, the question becomes if Oregon wins, a 1-loss team, will they get in? Who with 1 loss is going to be at the top of the
who
food
gets
chain?
in? Right.
Right. So we'll
and this
see
is the last year they have to do that because next year it's 12.
Right. Exactly. Next year that we'll be arguing about seeding. And maybe there'll
We
be an
won't.
argument like the NCAA tournament. Hey, should Syracuse get in or should it be Kansas State? You know, who's going to be the last at large? I mean, that'll really be the only argument. And I get what? Are we really going to get bent out of shape, Mark, about who's got the bye and who's got the home game? Yeah, I guess there's a battle.
And I think initially we'll be really fired up just about the home games. I mean, the fact that we're going to have cold weather football where Southern teams may have to go to Northern teams. And I think everybody's looking forward to that.
But those at-large bids are all going to go to either Big Ten or SEC teams.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they basically will. It's difficult to imagine going forward where the at-larges are going to come from out of the Big 12. It's possible if Florida State and Clemson
and Miami
remain
all act together
in the ACC, you know, then you could see that conference getting more than one bid, but
they've already spent enough money on lawyers to try to get out of that deal.
Yeah.
They're getting out of that deal.
Yeah, they definitely are getting out of that.
It's just when. It's not if, it's when.
Correct. And our prediction is the spring.
Right.
That they will announce it in the spring. 2024 will be their last year in the ACC, and then by the fall of 24, they will begin their tenure wherever next is.
See ya. Our minor league college sports situation won't miss you.
Well, will you though? I mean, okay. Imagine
I'll play Wake Forest every year. Who cares?
Okay, well, no. This is an interesting topic because schools are going to get left out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Syracuse could be one of them, which is amazing considering the stature that it has with the national media. But so if Syracuse is in a conference, the makeshift whatever's left of the ACC, and you mentioned it, Wake Forest, and and it'll be the Northeast
Boston
schools,
College,
Boston College, Pitt, but then also
don't forget SMU.
Well, wait, you beat me to where I was going.
Yeah.
Stanford, Cal, SMU, Seth, South Florida, in our neck of the woods, they're coming. When the exodus happens, South Florida might be the first school through the door.
Oh, into the ACC? They can come. Yeah. I like them. The Bulls, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
So, but that's the conference that you'll be in.
Yep.
Playing hoops and football.
It's like the Premier League and the second tier and the third tier and the fourth tier. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
It's not Power 5. It's Power 2 and 3 others.
Well, yes, but to be honest, can the ACC remain at the level that the Big 12 is?
No, they're going to be. That's the thing. They're not even going to be like the number one runner-up. They're going to be even lower.
We use the soda analogy, Seth. SEC, Big 10. One is Coke, one is Pepsi. Right. And then the Big 12 is what?
Dr. Can the ACC be Mountain Dew?
I think the ACC's RC Cola.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
Something that used to be popular but isn't anymore.
Yeah.
Now, I have to admit, I don't see how college sports benefits with this. I really don't.
Well, college sports as a whole doesn't benefit. What happens is it becomes more regionalized, and what we will care about is the rich will get richer. So the television rights deals that the SEC and the Big Ten have and will have going forward in the future, every game in those two conferences is going to be nationally somewhere on some streaming service. It is going to be these two powerhouses, and if you happen to be Wisconsin and Rutgers, you thank your lucky stars because you didn't see this coming either.
Well, but we all know then what the next move is. I mean, don't think that the powers that are in the two powerful conferences are going to be, okay, I'm cool with splitting the revenue evenly with Rutgers and Indiana and Illinois and what have you. I mean,
right,
but
that's
fight, the next
but
step.
that fight's between them. That's a civil war between them. Go for it. Have fun. The whole country doesn't have to worry about that.
Well, but what happens when the top half of the SEC and the top half of the Big Ten go spend a weekend frolicking together, and they decide, why don't we just do our own thing? Who cares about the rest?
Oh, then there'll be one mega conference, and then there'll be one D-level conference.
It is European soccer, just without relegation and promotion. That's the only problem.
Which would be
is that
amazing.
There's no way,
Yeah.
seemingly to move. Syracuse is getting slot into their hole, whatever league that
And
is.
they're just in what they're in, right?
But they're just in what they're in, and there's no way to get out.
Right. And so what I've said to Syracuse people is your expectations just have to be diminished. My senior year, we went to the Gator Bowl, and it was incredible. This year, we're going to go to the Tuna Mac Bowl.
Hey. First off, I think you need to win just to get to my Tuna Mac Bowl, okay?
I know if we beat Wake Forest, we're bowl eligible. I don't know what bowl that means.
That does
but
have,
we're
it's not
eligible.
Tuna Mac, but it may have Duke's Mayo Ball all over it, Seth.
It could. It really could.
Could it be the Duke's Mayo Tuna Mac Bowl? I didn't realize that Tuna Mac was this offensive. The two of you literally look like you're going to be sick at just
I feel like the throw up emoji.
Wow. Wow. I never realized this. Huh.
It's just
It's what we eat macaroni all the time. Instead of mac and cheese, it's mac and tuna.
Oh.
I can't. Seth, what do you have on the podcast? We have got to I have nowhere to go. I'm at a loss for words. Sports with Friends, Hall of Justice. What do you got, Seth?
Sports with Friends. There's a story. I have a former F1 driver, a guy by the name of Jensen Button. In 2009, he won Formula One. He won the championship in a controversial car where this one guy bought a company. He bought Honda. They had no money, and they designed this special little carburetor thing to make the car go faster, and he won 6 races in a row. And then there were hearings on whether or not they were cheating. They found out they weren't cheating, and he wound up having to win the championship just to make their money. It's a documentary on Hulu and Disney+. Keanu Reeves is the host, and Jensen Button is the focus. Jensen Button is on Sports with Friends. Hall of Justice takes Thanksgiving off. So happy Thanksgiving. Next week, we have Loki, the review, but no podcast coming out tomorrow. Sports with Friends does come out today. It's a busy travel day, so we interviewed a driver.
Look at that.
See what he did there? I like that.
Yeah. Not only busy travel day, especially if you're flying, you could take Sports with Friends with you and listen to the podcast.
Yes.
Seth, we mean it. Not just happy Thanksgiving to you, your family, all the best to your mom.
Same to you guys.
But we're very thankful for you.
Same to you guys. The feeling is mutual.
Miller and Moulton. Adam Beasley, Pro Football Network. We'll talk Dolphins next.
In my time slot.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
20 years ago, Jason and I had the idea for a jewelry store like no other, with a vast selection of certified diamonds priced 8 to 12% over cost. A team of individuals who are educated, driven, and believe in cultivating relationships.
Today, we have become one of the largest independent jewelry stores in the country. Todd and I love what we do and are in the store nearly every day, along with our GIA gemologists, master jewelers, custom designers, and non-commissioned diamond consultants, all of which we consider family.
As direct diamond importers, we travel the world, forging relationships and sourcing diamonds. What we love most about our business is that we can call Southwest Florida our home.
If selection, value, and comfort are important to you, give the Diamond District an opportunity. You won't find a better diamond buying experience. Todd and I look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
At the Diamond District.
Yeah. Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here.
Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go around and get it.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local partners like the Bayfront Inn. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn, something for everyone on 5th Avenue in downtown Naples. BayfrontInNaples.com. When you need a ride, book with Salt Life Transportation, 308-8686, or book on saltlivetransportation.com.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
I was with Seth. I really thought it was oatmeal when I first saw it. I'm like, David's eating oatmeal? Nothing better than participating in the Thanksgiving turkey giveaway, and then you get cut.
He got cut before it.
And was at it.
And
Right.
still went to it with his teammates, ex-teammates. Yes.
Mark, are you going to watch any Michigan State hoops tomorrow?
I didn't know they were playing until right now. Who are they playing?
Second TV. Arizona.
Oh, yeah, I'll watch it. What time is it?
Let me look. I don't even know. It is at 4.
Yes, I will.
So it's right in the sweet spot. By the way, you were exactly right when you said they would stay ranked after losing to Duke, because then they would beat. They had 2 non-conference games.
It's a joke.
They dropped 3 spots.
Doing it right after the show, fam. First order, made the brine yesterday, made my own brine. It's a first for me. I've done the salt brine before. I've never done the wet brine. Very excited. Turkey in the roaster, duck in the smoker.
David, are you doing turducken?
No. Remember, you got to call
Gotta call Adam. You got to call Adam.
Yeah, I will.
You'll call him now. No, I wish, though, Trent. I do. I would love to have turducken at least one more time.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
It is the third and final hour of Miller and Moulton along the network. The Diamond District bonus hour awaits for our loyal Southwest Florida audience. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. We will be off tomorrow. We will be doing a show on Black Friday, though. So hopefully you will join us wherever you are and whatever it is that you are doing on Friday. And, of course, hope that you have a great Thanksgiving and know that we are very thankful for you. We would not have a show without you.
I think I'm bringing Bloody Marys to the show on Friday.
Well, you're doing two jobs Friday, so you might as well.
I know. I was thinking about making my son come and board up, even though he has no idea how to do it.
Well, that's okay, because there's a good chance the equipment's not going to work anyway. So just tell him, remember, bang the 8-track hard on the side.
Exactly.
He's Adam Beasley. He certainly knows what he is doing for a living because he covers the NFL and with an emphasis on the Dolphins for Pro Football Network, profootballnetwork.com. Follow Adam on Twix, Twitter/X at Adam H. Beasley. Adam, it's David and Mark. Thanks for doing this, and we wish you and yours a happy Thanksgiving. How are you?
I'm great, but let's not rush to any kind of judgments of my competence before we get through this segment, okay?
Come on now. We read your work. We see your work. We're willing to make that judgment right now. Hey, first off, what'd you think about the in-season Hard Knocks that debuted last night on the Dolphins?
I felt like it was a good easing your way in episode. This is a relatively drama-free team. So what makes, Hard Knocks certainly so compelling in the preseason is the drama, is the stakes. Everyone's livelihood is on the line. They got to perform or they're out. By this point in the season, we kind of know the Dolphins are good, right? And we know they're going to go to the playoffs. And they played, and I wouldn't say a bad team, but certainly not a good team in the Raiders. So I think this was a good feeling out episode. And the way the Dolphins' schedule kind of unfolds over the next month, there's going to probably be a lot of these feel-good episodes, right? Because they have the Jets this week with the Tim Boyle experiment. Then they have the Commanders, who just lost to maybe the worst team in the National Football League. The Titans in prime time. And then the Jets again. So the next 4 weeks are going to be a lot like this past week. Certainly, I'm not saying they're going to, roll through those 5 games and not have any kind of conflict. But really, when the stakes rise, will be the last 3 games of the season, the playoffs, and that's my guess is when it's going to get really good.
Adam, is there any chance the Jets are better this week with Boyle than they were with Zach Wilson? I mean, is this actually? Could it be a bad break for the Dolphins?
I mean, I've heard some nervous Miami Dolphins fans, including my co-host of my podcast, Matt Infante, kind of make that same point. Look, there's a reason why he was third string for the New York Jets, right? And there's a reason he has thrown 3 either Division I or NFL touchdown passes since 2013. Okay, maybe on the margins it helps the Jets a little, but come on, this is a career backup who has never thrown a touchdown in the National Football League and who has lost all of his starts. The Dolphins will beat this team, and I think they'll beat them pretty handily because their defense is playing so good right now.
Well, and Adam, is that where we're at with the Dolphins? It's one thing that, they haven't beaten a really good team yet. They'll have their opportunity late in the regular season and hopefully in the playoffs. But do you think that's where we're at now with this Dolphins group that it's like, yeah, those mediocre teams that have been problematic at times in the past, they're not going to be problematic with this group.
Yeah, just because this is, I mean, I've been covering this team on starting on a part-time basis in 2008 and on a full-time basis in 2012. So this is a long time I've been around this team, and this is by far the most talent they've ever had. Most talent they've had at the quarterback position, most talent they've had at the wide receiver position, most talent they've had as pass rush, most talent they've had in the secondary. Really, really good. Solid offensive line, solid linebackers. I mean, those teams were talent deficient and they were coaching deficient. So that's a bad combination, and I think it's a testament to how well the defense played, certainly during the Flores and the Gase eras, to get them to the playoffs once in that span, but have, I think, 3 winning records in those 6 or 7 seasons, whatever it is. That was a try hard team, right? Like I kind of feel like them, like I sort of feel like maybe the Indianapolis Colts this year, where if they got a good running game and they played some good defense, they could do enough, in a mediocre league to sneak your way into the 7th seed and then just get crushed by the Steelers or whatever, right? Because that's what happened in 2016.
Right.
This isn't that team anymore. It's not. And I know there's a lot of nervous Nellies out there that, oh man, they don't show up when the lights are the brightest and all that. And I think there's something to that. But I also look at their metrics, and on a down in, down out basis, they're one of the 5 or 6 best teams in the league. The Jets are far from that. So if you want to have a reason for concern, they kind of make a bunch of boneheaded mistakes. And when you play the Raiders of the world, you can get away with it. When you play the Bills, Eagles, Chiefs of the world, you can't. So I think that's the one thing that they have to fix is, if maybe the Jets get a couple of non-offensive touchdowns, the game gets interesting. Tua turns the ball over a couple of times. Sure, you can squint your eyes and see a way that they lose this game. 9 times out of 10, the Dolphins win the matchup they have this weekend.
The defense has gotten so much better from the start of the season now, Adam. Is it a matter of just getting Ramsey back? Was it a matter of learning Vic's defense? What is it about the defense that's caused the improvement from week 1 to now?
Well, they've definitely gotten healthier. That's certainly helped. What was it, that Eagles game? I don't think they had Ramsey or Xavier Howard in that game.
Right. Yeah.
So health has been a big part of it, and I think the defense was trending in the right direction before Ramsey came back, and the introduction of that elite talent into an already ascending group just kind of supercharged it. Right. It was the gasoline that made it go. And you can say, hey, maybe the Chiefs aren't very good offensively. Certainly, the Raiders have their issues, so they have feasted on some average to below average offenses. But look at the schedule for the next month, man. Show me an above average defense. So I think they're going to have an opportunity to continue to get better, to get reps, to build confidence against, who would it be? Tim Boyle, Sam Howell, Will Levis, and then maybe Tim Boyle again. And then you get to that stretch where it's Dak, Lamar, Josh Allen. So, Jalen Ramsey has made an enormous difference, but I think this defense was already on the right track when he came back.
Adam Beasley covering the NFL with a focus on the Dolphins for Pro Football Network, profootballnetwork.com. Follow him on Twix, Twitter/X at Adam H. Beasley. They do grade out analytically and statistically so well. They do grade out as a top 5, 6 team in this league. What do you think so far has held them back from being it, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. Certainly. Well, I mean, again, they have the 3rd best record or 4th best record in football. So it's not like, this is a 4-6 team that's, it's not like they're the Chargers, right? That just have completely underachieved. I think 7-3 being -4 in turnovers and having a bunch of penalties is pretty indicative of their quality at this point. I believe they're still -4 in the turnover margin. They have a ton of giveaways, like a bunch of giveaways, far more than you see. I think somebody told me that they turn the ball over on 14% of their drives. That's unacceptable, right? You can't win a Super Bowl with that unless you are so good on offense and defense aside from the turnover margin that it's almost irrelevant. But this isn't college football. You're never going to have like Georgia versus TCU in the Super Bowl. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, no, that's the thing that's holding them back is they're giving the ball away far too much. Until recently, they weren't taking it away. Certainly, Ramsey coming back helps that significantly. And you know, they have had some issues running the football with offensive line injuries they've had against these more physical fronts. And the Chiefs really good defensively. Eagles really good defensively. The Bills, when they played the Bills, had everybody. They were really good defensively. You know, the Raiders, you look at them this past week, and I do, you know, I think that was a B- C+ game for their offense. But the Raiders' analytics are good. I think they're a top 15 in EPA per play defense. So they do kind of come back to the pack when they don't play the Carolina Panthers of the world, right? These teams, the Chargers of the world, these teams just have bad defenses. Won't have a bad defense on the other side of the field on Friday. The Jets are top 10 in EPA per play. But beyond that, Commanders, they traded away their only two good defensive players. That's going to be a high-scoring game, maybe a one-sided high-scoring game. Same with the Titans. The Titans are bad on defense. The Dolphins will be able to make some waves against those kind of teams. The question is that sustainable? Can they continue to do that against these heavy fronts that beat the hell out of them, jam the receivers, the line of scrimmage, get them off schedule? That's really where they've had some issues.
Well, and isn't this a great week, Adam, with the Jets? Obviously, they're not going to be able to score. Isn't this a great week to try to reestablish that run against a good defense and see what they can do?
We got about a minute.
Yeah, the Jets aren't particularly good against the run. Their pass defense is fabulous, like really, really good pass defense. But their run defense is middling. It's not bad, but it's not good either. So, yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have, Robert Hunt back. We don't know for sure if he's going to play. I think they've had 8 different starting offensive lines in 10 weeks. So there's been very little, continuity of that group. Unlikely they're going to have Isaiah Wynn back. Certainly not in the next month, maybe not at all. So left guard is going to remain a concern, but Robert Jones and Robert Hunt were the two guys they would like to have on the field. Both those dudes are hurt, so Lester Cotton and Liam Eichenberg at the guards. That's you can understand why there's a bit of drop off on line play when you're on your. I mean, they're the 4th and 5th guards that have started this year, right?
Yep.
So it would be nice, to establish that against the Jets. I just don't have super high hopes this week if Hunt cannot play because, again, that is a really good defensive line they're going to go up against.
He's Adam Beasley, Pro Football Network, profootballnetwork.com. Follow him on Twix, Twitter/X at Adam H. Beasley. Adam, thank you for your time. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Miller and Moulton.
Enjoy Turkey Day, fellas.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
20 years ago, Jason and I had the idea for a jewelry store like no other, with a vast selection of certified diamonds priced 8 to 12% over cost. A team of individuals who are educated, driven, and believe in cultivating relationships.
Today, we have become one of the largest independent jewelry stores in the country. Todd and I love what we do and are in the store nearly every day, along with our GIA gemologists, master jewelers, custom designers, and non-commissioned diamond consultants, all of which we consider family.
As direct diamond importers, we travel the world, forging relationships and sourcing diamonds. What we love most about our business is that we can call Southwest Florida our home.
If selection, value, and comfort are important to you, give the Diamond District an opportunity. You won't find a better diamond buying experience. Todd and I look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
At the Diamond District.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung has successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida for over 30 years. As a former prosecutor, the information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, a criminal matter, or involved in an auto accident, call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. I'm a local attorney with local knowledge to assist you through the process. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Offices in Fort Worth.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
I was trying to look at a little video there. Have you seen the Frontier Airlines video of that woman freaking out on the plane?
No.
Started bear crawling over seats and
whoa.
When? Like today?
It's a couple days old.
I mean, nothing
'Cause-
shocks me on an airplane anymore.
Well, I only read it because Joe Kinsey, who works for Outkick, I'm calling on the FAA to allow flight attendants, especially on budget airlines, to carry elephant tranquilizer darts to shoot into the necks of maniacs like the possessed weirdo who ruined this Houston to Denver flight.
Gosh, people are so miserable these days.
Whoops. Have fun flying Frontier.
Yeah, that's what I'm on today.
Yeah, my kid's flying, I think it's Breeze. No, Avilo airline. It's another one of the discount ones.
Yeah.
So big, could be a big weekend at the Miller household. So Jake went down to see his lady in St. Pete. I think I told you that, David.
Uh-huh.
She's going to be in Marco at her mom's.
Uh-huh.
And it's told Jake, I'd really like to come see you. And I'm loving this. Because he's going to have to say, she's going to stop by and meet you. Okay. 24 years, he's never introduced me to
a girl.
A woman.
Well, maybe he's never had one that was worthy of introduction before.
Exactly.
So, Johnny, you're a key lime and a peach mango pie. Okay. You're going key lime. For the record, Dolly's 820 pies that they've sold this week.
Dolly's?
Dolly's. Of the 126 that are on order to be picked up today, 72 of them are apple.
They make great pies there. Rest in peace, Dolly. She was a good woman. Randy, I believe, is the name of it. I'm almost positive. Randy is her son that's now running it. No apple. Oh, no, it's my wife's cousin's making apple. Mom's making the pecan pie. I made the homemade vanilla ice cream for it, David.
Hold on a second. You made the ice cream?
Yeah.
So you made the stuffing.
Well, I made the bread for the stuffing. I mean, the stuffing will get made tomorrow.
And you made the ice cream.
Yeah.
And your wife's making the cake.
Yes.
What kind of cake again? Pumpkin?
Pumpkin. No, I'm not brining the duck. Every recipe, I'm smoking it. And I've never made it either, fam. That's why it's the backup. If I F it up, I F it up. One of the recipes I saw, fam, said cook it on my smoker on one of those, like you do beer can chicken.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Dr. Roto to join us in a little more than 15 minutes time. Start sending in your fantasy football questions, whether it be on our text line 21,000 or if you're taking us in on the Miller and Moulton Twitch.tv broadcast, send them in the Twitch, chat room there. And we will fire them away at Dr. Roto in a little more than 15 minutes time. Did not mention this earlier in the show, and that was on me. And I didn't mention it because I thought didn't want to put it in the starting five and have it be a tidbit. All right. I wanted to bring this up where we could just talk about it for a moment. Mark, you were 15 when the Tigers won the World Series?
Yes.
And Trent, hopefully one day you will get to experience your Tigers winning the World Series. But Mark, did it stop you in your tracks for a moment yesterday when you heard the news that Willie Hernandez had passed away?
Absolutely.
For those that don't know, in 1984, when the Tigers just dominated the season, started 35-5, and they just steamrolled everybody in the playoffs too. Just everybody was just, nope, it's the Tigers' year. Willie Hernandez was their closer. Things were different then. How different, you ask? Well, in the regular season, he pitched in 80 games.
80.
He finished 68 of them. His ERA was sub-2. So in 80 games pitched, if a reliever pitched 80 games now, how many innings do you think he would pitch?
82.
140 and a third.
Right.
32 saves. 80 appearances, only 32 saves. Now, I mean, they won't put the closer out there unless it's a save situation. The closer rarely is asked to get more than 3 outs.
But he was their late inning guy. Tie game. You put Willie in.
Listen, he final 2 innings of Game 5 of the World Series. Willie Hernandez, Sparky sent him out there to start the 8th. It's like, okay, we're close enough. Here you go. Finish it. He was so dominant in 84. He did something only 2 other men have done, in which he won the Cy Young, the MVP, and was on the World Series champion. Koufax in 63. I think it was Denny McClain in 68, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Willie Hernandez in 84. And it was controversial at the time. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. The Cy Young, that's the award for pitchers. You can't make him MVP. 140 innings as a reliever. Hell, I mean, there are number 3 starters that are going 140 innings. So, left-hander, Was it the screwball? What was this big out pitch?
Split finger pitch.
Man, he and they were unhittable and unbeatable that year. So Willie Hernandez passed away. 69 years old, was living in Sebring.
Yeah, it was just his birthday. We just had it. Today was the day when it was just his birthday in the past week.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't that team start 25-5?
35-5.
35-5.
35-5.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
To go 35-5 in any 40-game stretch is amazing, let alone to start the season.
Well, didn't Marceau no hitter on opening day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's how that year started. I mean, could you imagine? And I just think of being in your shoes, Mark. I mean, you're 15. I mean, this is you're
well, and baseball's still the sport.
It's 84, sure.
I mean, that's the other thing.
And besides,
lucky enough to go to Game 3 of the World Series that year.
Wow.
Which was I don't know if it's still, but it was like the worst World Series game ever played in terms of number of bases on balls.
Oh, okay.
It was bad pitching. Ugly game. Detroit won, but it was an ugly, ugly game.
Where'd you sit?
Upper deck, right field side.
Tiger Stadium.
Oh, wow. Those are good seats.
Great seats.
So that's why I just didn't want to mention it in the starting five as a footnote, just because of not only what he accomplished, but also just how different it was. Like, I've told the story. I mean, Billy Martin was managing the Yankees in an elimination game against the Royals, and they fall behind early in Kansas City. He brings his closer, Sparky Lyle, in the game in the fourth with like 2 runners on base, gives them the ball. No one else pitched for the Yankees the rest of the game. He went 5+ innings. Yankees won. I mean, it was different.
Yes, it was.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you think the 84 Tigers are the most iconic Detroit team ever? All 4 sports.
Don't know.
Probably not. No.
Don't know. I would say probably.
What about the Bad Boys?
Because that Bless You Boys summer was an incredible summer. I don't think there's a Wings team that overtakes that. I don't think that there's a Piston team that overtakes that. That summer of 84 was special.
Well, and
because of the way it started.
Yeah, it's still remarkable.
Everybody, your grandma was as into it as you were.
Well,
that's where I don't think another team in Detroit has that ability to span generations.
See, I would agree, but I wasn't around for it, so I wanted to ask what you guys.
Well, and Mark was there to feel it and experience it, so he's the expert on this. But, we brought up the 84 Tigers this baseball season because of the Rays start to the year. I mean, that is still the gold standard to starting the year. And even when the Braves had, what was it, last year? I don't mean 23 season, I did 22 season. They had this ridiculous stretch of baseball. And we looked at it and said, yeah, it's amazing. It still wasn't as good as how the Tigers started the year in 84. But Willie Hernandez was their closer. 80 appearances, 140 innings.
He was Willie then. He was Guillermo a couple years later. He was Willie in 84, David.
Yes, that's how I know he's, when they passed away, the story was Guillermo Hernandez. I'm like, no. It was Willie.
In 84, he was Willie.
Damn right he was. Made 3 straight All-Star teams in the mid-'80s. He was Willie in every one of those All-Star games. Come on now. So, anyway. Get your questions in for Dr. Roto.
I don't have that many, so I should be able to get plenty of questions in from the listeners. 21,000 is the text line. If you've never texted the show before, FSN Radio is the keyword, all one word, FSN Radio. Send that in and then text to your heart's content for your fantasy questions or anything else.
It's there aren't going to be many games Sunday. You got 3 on Thursday, 1 on Friday. And then obviously there's a Monday nighter, so
which game pre-Sunday are you most amped for? Dolphins?
Well, they're Friday.
They're Friday, but I mean, the best game is Seattle, Seattle, San Francisco.
That's the most implications.
Thanksgiving night. Listen, if the Niners win, don't you have to put an X next to them?
I think so.
mean, this is the 3-game stretch for San Francisco. They've got Seattle twice with the Eagles in the middle. It's Seattle, Philly, Seattle. I mean, if they go 2-1 in this stretch,
it's over.
Yeah, probably. I'll tell you the game I'm most interested in: Buffalo at Philly on Sunday. That's the game that interests me the most because okay, Buffalo, are you going to start playing like what we thought you were going to be? And this is the 5-game stretch for the Eagles at Kansas City, Buffalo, San Francisco, Seattle, and Dallas. That's their 5-game stretch. Whew. Okay, 1-0 to begin it, but ain't gonna let up anytime soon. So there you go.
Little preview to the weekend. We are doing a show Friday, however, when we'll get into all of those games. But Dr. Roto, he's next on Miller and Moulton.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further. We here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
The waterways of Naples are a beauty to behold, and the Bayfront Inn has multiple ways for guests to enjoy the water and have some fun. Gather your family and friends and enjoy a leisurely day on the water with a pontoon or deck boat. If you prefer to explore the waterways without a motor, the Bayfront has canoes, standboards, and kayaks. At the end of your journey, enjoy lunch or dinner at the Bamboo Tropical Bar and Grill. The Bayfront Inn. Something for everyone. On 5th Avenue in Naples.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung has successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida for over 30 years. As a former prosecutor, the information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, a criminal matter, or involved in an auto accident, call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. I'm a local attorney with local knowledge to assist you through the process. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Offices in Fort Worth.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Jimmy Jam, we did Bud yesterday at this time. We kind of, Thanksgiving week, to fit in everybody, we moved some around. So we did Bud at this time yesterday. You could download it. It was a good segment. FloridaSportsNetwork.com. But we did Bud yesterday at 8:38. So, because we had to fit in our normal Thursday guests, and so we moved a few around. Like we moved Seth up today. So, sorry if you missed it. It's on YouTube.
He didn't wear his hat.
And he didn't wear his hat, and, to be nice to my mom. He looked good, though. He looked refreshed. He was up early.
Do you guys remember off the top of your head what happened to the Tigers in '85? Because they went back to the World Series in *86 and lost, right?
No. They never
went back to the World Series. They won the division in '87.
Correct. That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
And they didn't make the playoffs again until '06, right?
Yeah.
And they went 19 years. As I remember it, Mark, that '84 season came a bit out of nowhere. Remember, you guys challenged the Brewers the split season year of '81. It came down to the final weekend. Who was going to win the second half in the East, Milwaukee or Detroit? And Raleigh Fingers and the boys edged you out. But then in '82 and '83, you guys were like around 500.
Around
weren't you?
500, but
Right.
it just all
And
came.
then it just
It just all
clicked.
came together.
And I mean, God, what?
I mean,
Herndon,
yeah,
Lemon, Gibson,
Lemon,
Parrish.
up the middle, as you say, David. They were so good. Parrish, Whitaker, Trammell, Lemon,
Right.
and good pitching.
And then Gibson, Herndon, you had Morris, Petrie.
Yeah, and somehow they have Trammell in the hall. But
You have
not
Darrell
Whitaker.
Evans on that team.
That team gets talked about all the time. I mean, that's all kids my age. That's all my dad and my grandpa talk about is the '84 Tigers.
Yep.
Well, the 84 Tigers are like the 85 Bears were in Chicago until the Cubs won the World Series. I mean, it's all, even Michaels, great in the Bulls and what have you. Nothing in Chicago is bigger than the 85 Bears. It is amazing how Michael, once he was done playing in Chicago, has basically done with Chicago. I mean, he's had nothing to do with Chicago for 25 years. It's remarkable. That's right. Hojo was a backup third baseman on the 84 Tigers. Then the Mets traded Walt Terrell for him. It was actually a solid starting pitch, number 3 starter. It gave you innings. I just love that ballpark.
Tiger Stadium?
Yeah. I loved watching games. As a fan, I just loved it. And I loved, oh my God, there was a Grand Canyon, the center, short porch and right. I just thought it was such a neat place.
It was our dump, that's for sure.
Oh, it didn't feel like a dump. I looked at it as like, oh my God, this is what baseball is.
I sat behind pylons too many times in my life.
But see, I grew up with Yankee Stadium where I had to sit with the pylons too, so I didn't think it was the worst thing in the world.
No, you're right. Roto's on.
Send in your question.
Hammer the text number right now when you get on, because I've literally have one question.
That's what I have too.
I should have pulled the Felipe and called him earlier.
Well, I'll get my lineup out. Let's see what I got here.
I'm 9-2. Pressure's on. I've never been this good.
My big question this week is, and I'll even ask him this: Stafford or Geno Smith?
Here we go.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, only on the Florida Sports Network.
It is 22 minutes before the hour. He normally joins us on a Thursday at this time, but, well, we're not working tomorrow. It's Thanksgiving. So on this Thanksgiving Eve, the doctor is making his house call. Dr. Roto, drroto.com. You can follow him on Twix, Twitter/X at Dr. Roto, DRROTO. His website, as I mentioned, drroto.com. It is spectacular. Great staff. Tremendous information. They deliver winners constantly. You really should check it out. drroto.com. Doc, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. And we are thankful for you. How are you?
And same to you guys. Very thankful for being here and talking to you guys every week. But, it's so funny because Thanksgiving, as much as we love it in our industry, it's a work day. Right? When there's 3 football games, I mean, there have been many years I've been on Sirius XM hosting shows Thanksgiving morning. Of course, Mrs. Roto giving me the evil eye. But
you do what you got to do, Doc. There's no doubt. And, how do you do daily? I'm just curious, general question. How do you do DFS with 4 games being played before? How much is it more difficult? Is it easier? Do you find daily fantasy when there's 4 games before Sunday a harder task?
Well, great question. So because it's a family day and I'm usually driving to the East Coast to be with Mama Roto, I can't really do multiple lineups like I want to do. like I normally do on a Sunday. So I keep my playing very light because I have to play because, between us, I'm a degenerate, and that's what we do. We play lineups in DFS even on holidays, but I'll keep it very low key, one or two teams, get the lineup in, try to pick players who are safe because you don't want to be the guy driving across Alligator Alley having to change his lineup. So I'll come back on Sunday and then really, concentrate on the main slates that way. Let's consider it like a bye week, right? In terms of those teams aren't available to us on Sunday. So that's how I treat it.
21,000 is the text line. If you've never texted before, the keyword is FSN radio to 21,000 to text in your questions for Dr. Roto. Those in the Twitch chat room, just submit them to the doc. Do you have a theory about Thanksgiving games, if you will? Like my theory is they're more high scoring than a normal game. I think the defenses have trouble on such a short week at this point of the year. Does that make sense? That's my theory about, like, I'll play more overs on Thanksgiving than I will on Sunday.
Yeah, I love that theory. It seems, and I was just watching Taylor Decker. He did a little chat with Adam Schefter, and it was, they love playing in the game, but it's not a lot of time. And all these guys, especially the linemen, are hurting because they need those extra couple of days. I mean, they just got literally pounded and now they're playing again. So it's funny. Don't you think the Cowboy game always goes over? Don't you remember, was it Carr that threw for, close to 400 yards and Hunter Renfrow was catching 150 yards? That Cowboy game always goes over. The Lion game doesn't always go over, but this year it might because the Packers are a mess and the Lions are a really top-notch team. So I could see those two games going over. The last one, man, you give the 49ers a healthy Brock Purdy and Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel, they put up 30 every week. So the only question is, can Seattle keep pace? But I love that theory, and certainly that Cowboy game, there's always seems to be a lot of points scored.
All right, desperate times call for desperate measures. It's the only question I'm asking about my team. Stafford or Geno Smith?
Look, I think that it's a problem. You're going to have to wait to the last second. I would prefer to play Stafford. I would against the Cardinals, who we see don't play a ton of defense. So, I mean, that would be where I'm leaning. But look, right now, this is a hard week because not only is it Thanksgiving, but we've got a lot of injuries. Stafford certainly did not look great last week. Cooper Kupp injured himself. Even Puka Nacua is questionable. Geno Smith, is he playing? So there's so many different variables. I think in your case, what I would probably do is not play Geno, maybe pick up Carson Wentz if I had a scrub to drop, and make sure that I had the Rams quarterback in that game against the Cardinals.
By the way, are you making moves specifically thinking ahead to the playoffs this week?
Yes and no. Remember, next week is that bloodbath of bye week games. You got 6 teams on bye. So it's going to be a hard thing to do. But yes, I am looking that way. So I play primarily high stakes leagues. And what that means, so the entry fees are about, somewhere between $350 and $1,500 a team. And so at that point, if we drop somebody at this point, you can't get anybody back. So I got to be very judicious with who I'm dropping because if I ever need them again, they won't be in the player pool. At the same time, in our leagues, the minute the playoffs start, and I think other leagues should be thinking about this, we don't allow moves to happen once playoffs start because it's just not fair to the overall winner because it would all depend on the league. So your team is kind of locked in. So if you're in a league like that, you better make sure you have 2 quarterbacks. You better make sure you have 2 tight ends. You do not need 2 kickers and you do not need 2 defenses.
All right, let's get some of the questions on the East. Who's sitting out of these 3? Sit 1. Tank Dell, Debo, DJ Moore. Who are you sitting?
I mean, I can't in all good conscience bench Tank Dell at this point, can I? I mean, that would not be a good idea. And then who is
Debo and DJ Moore?
Yeah, I'm trying to, so the Bears are playing the Vikings. The Vikings have a very soft pass defense. Wow, that's a tough question. I think, man, maybe I bench Debo. I know that sounds crazy, but I think Seattle's cornerbacks are terrific. And I think that, there's so many guys to choose from. I don't know if you saw this, Mark, but the guy who won the $1 million last year, last week on DraftKings, won it with what we call a naked Brock Purdy. He played Purdy, but he didn't play any of his receivers with him because he knew that Purdy could throw to so many different guys. And that's exactly what happened. So I think DJ Moore against Vikings is a pretty good start.
Michael Hornung, who is proud sponsor of this segment, the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, he says, listen, Doc, am I overthinking this? I'm in a 12-team league. I'm in second. Very close. Every point's going to be crucial the rest of the way. I've been playing the same kicker, the Cleveland kicker. Should I just stick with him, or should I change my kicker week to week, fighting for points?
Great question. Honestly, it's a great question because when he's actually playing in the same high stakes league that I'm in, and one team gets in on best record and total points, and the next team that gets into the big tournament is points. Right, so you can get in at second if you have the most points. So what happens is every point counts. But what I love about the Browns kicker, what I love about Hopkins, the Browns can't score touchdowns, especially without Watson. Hopkins has been gold. He has been gold this season. So I think if you're going to have a kicker, let it be Brandon Aubrey from Dallas or let it be Dustin Hopkins from the Cleveland Browns.
Sit one, Kamara, Pollard, Swift. Who's sitting?
I am not sitting Swift against the Bills. No chance on that one. It's funny. You could sit Kamara, but I don't know about that. I mean, the Falcons do have a tough run defense, but without Michael Thomas there, I mean, don't you think they're going to use Kamara a ton? So I think I have to play Kamara and Swift.
My fear, and you guys know I don't play fantasy, but it seems as if Taysom Hill is just killing Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara in Saints fantasy, isn't he? I mean, because it just seems as if they get close, it's Taysom Hill time.
Right. So when you play Kamara, you are basically saying, I need his receptions. If I get his 6 receptions a game, and those games that he puts up 10 receptions, that's how you're going to win. But you're totally right. Taysom Hill is the biggest pain in the butt in fantasy because they get in the 3-yard line. And in the old days, remember Drew Brees? Those were Kamara touchdowns. Kamara had 6 touchdowns to win somebody a fantasy league. Now Taysom Hill's getting 2 of those. So, but I'm still buying into the bulk. And without Michael Thomas there, look, I like Rashid Shaheed, but he's a big play guy. I actually like this kid, A.T. Perry from Wake Forest, but he's more of a big play guy. You need to grind out yards in the NFL, and I think Kamara's the guy to do it.
All right, PPR needs one for a flex. D-Hop, Zay Flowers, Jalen Reed. Who you starting?
Well, look, I really like Jaden Reed, but I just don't know if you can play him in good confidence right now. I think you must play Zay Flowers against the Chargers. The Chargers are reeling. I mean, if Brandon Staley keeps his job at the end of this year, I'll be shocked. It's just been a mess. It's bad. And look, you're losing Andrews, and Beckham is not 100%. Zay Flowers is going to get dead the football. So
Adam is a DFS question. Baker Mayfield, Trevor Lawrence.
Look, I like Lawrence. I do. I like Lawrence. I think the Colts, here's the one thing about the Colts. They play quickly. There's a lot of plays in that game, and there's a chance for big plays. But if you give me 10 seconds, because I want to give Adam the best advice I possibly can, Trevor Lawrence, trying to look to see what the sports book has it at. So Trevor Lawrence, Baker Mayfield is at 245 yards. Lawrence is about 242. So it's similar. The question is touchdowns. So I think the Jaguars offense started to take a step up last week. I'm going to go with them.
I got 2 QB questions, and they're similar, so I'll ask them simultaneously. Stroud or Goff? Fields or Goff?
So it's funny. I just had one of my subscribers ask this question. And, when you subscribe to drroto.com, that's what we do. We answer your questions. We love doing that. Shameless plug there, guys. I like Goff this week, but the one thing that worries me is how many touchdowns will they run for? Because they are putting up 4 touchdowns this week. That's just going to happen. I mean, the Packers are not 100% at all. So now the question is Goff always throws for 240 or 250 yards, right? The question is he going to get those 2 touchdowns? Right now, Pinnacle has him at minus 155 to throw over those 2, to go throw over 1.5. So they're saying he goes 240 and 2. If I get 240 and 2 from Goff, I'm basically looking at 20 points. So you bet if any other guy you're starting, are you getting 20 points or more? If you think you're going to get 20 points or more from Stroud, which you might, then you play him. If you think you're getting 20 points or more from Justin Fields, then you play him. That's the way you have to think, because I think Goff is locked in at that 20. I don't see that 30 upside this week because they run the ball so well.
All right, we got about 3 minutes, so try to go rapid fire. Salty Drew wants to know Kieran Williams, Jerome Ford, Zach Charbonneau.
If Kyron Williams is playing, I like him. I mean, I like him a lot. I think they miss him terribly. So let me just give a comment about Zach Charbonnet. This is you've been waiting for this if you've had him. Problem is he's got very tough schedule coming up. So he's going to have to be like Alvin Kamara, and he's going to need about 5 or 6 receptions to be worth his value.
Pick 2, Javonte Williams, Kareem Hunt, James Conner, and Cahill Herbert.
I'm not playing Khalil Herbert. I will play Javonte Williams. I know it's a bad matchup. Who was the first one?
Javonte Williams, Kareem Hunt, James Conner.
Yeah, I'm going to play James Conner as well against the Rams. I think James Conner is very underrated. He's just not catching a lot of passes because Kyler's a mess. I know we all love Kyler Murray, and every play looks exciting. Do you remember last week he throws for a touchdown basically on the 3rd play of the game, and he does nothing the rest of the game? Isn't that worrisome to anybody else out there?
He looked rusty. He missed some open receivers. They should have won that game, quite frankly. He had open receivers for touchdowns late. Super flex, I've never heard of that. 2 out of 3. Hurts, Tua, Jordan Love.
Yeah, so what a super flex means is that there's a flex position that you can start a quarterback. And if you're in a super flex league, you definitely do start a quarterback because that's how you get the most points. I mean, I know Jordan Love has played well, but this one you have to watch very carefully. Luke Musgrave was literally in the hospital yesterday. Christian Watson's not 100%. Jaden Reed is not 100%. Aaron Jones is out. I mean, here's one for you in DFS. Play Romeo Doubs because he may be the last Packer guy standing. So I can't play Love right now. I just think the Packers are going to get crushed.
All right, pick 2, Flowers, Waddle, Thielen, Cup. Which 2 are you playing, Doc?
I'm playing Flowers, as I told you. I mean, obviously, I want to play Cooper Kupp, but I'd have to see. I mean, you can't. So that's a problem, and I love talking to you guys. You know that. But on Wednesday, it's hard to give you that advice because we just don't know how a player is doing. But Kupp has a terrific matchup if he's healthy.
Brown Chicken wants to know Swift or ATN?
Good question. Look, I think Swift is playing at another level this year, and the Bills can be had defensively. Eagles are going to score a ton of points this week, and I think Swift gets a touchdown for sure.
And my final question is Trey McBride or Sam Laporta?
All right, listen to me. Sam Laporta has literally cost me thousands of dollars over the last 2 weeks. I am not kidding when I say this. Not kidding. It could be in 5-figure range. Dude's killing me. That doesn't mean I still don't love him. But Trey McBride eats up zone defenses, and the Rams play a ton of zone, and the Rams have let up the most touchdowns to opposing tight ends. So give me Trey McBride all day.
And 10 seconds. Chase, Diggs, or Waddle, 2 out of 3.
Wow, Diggs for sure. Let's wait on Chase. I mean, I guess Jake Browning is going to go to his first read. Isn't that going to be Chase? So I guess give me Chase, but I don't feel good about it.
He's Dr. Roto. We want to emphasize that. Right. Yeah.
And he joins us every week, courtesy of the law office, Michael F. Hornon. Doc, happy Thanksgiving. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Enjoy, guys. Thankful for you. Take care.
Miller and Moulton. Thanks for listening. Florida Sports Network.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung specializes in criminal defense, DUI, personal injury, nursing home claims, and auto accidents. I'm a former prosecutor with over 34 years of experience. The information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, time is of the essence to maintain your driving privileges. Call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung for a free consultation. At the law firm of Michael F. Hornung, we are committed to excellence in your representation. Being a local attorney with local knowledge is clutch to the success of your case. For over 30 years, we have successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Our offices are conveniently located in Fort Myers. Visit online at mfh-law.com.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Hey, y'all, it's Ben Allen. When it comes to singing and performing live shows, I'm in my comfort zone. When it comes to wanting to surprise my wife with diamonds, I'm a bit lost. That's why I go see my friends Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. Jason and Todd helped me blow my wife away when we got engaged, and I've been applauding them ever since. If you're in the market for diamonds this holiday season, Southwest Florida has been giving Jason and Todd a standing ovation for over 20 years. Go see them and let Jason and Todd know that Ben Allen sent you.
Thanks, Ben. We're proud of you and your accomplishments and thrilled that you are part of our Diamond District family.
This holiday season, visit Jason and me at the Diamond District. We look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Thanks, Martin. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Supposedly, the Tennessee women's coach is calling us in 22 minutes or whatever.
Outstanding.
Good deal. Hopefully it actually comes to the studio this
Yeah.
time, not the front desk.
Well, you know what I think happened? My guess is that supposedly they called and it said the number doesn't work. So my guess is they looked up the station and called the front desk.
I'm sure you're exactly right.
What I find interesting is that I've asked a person with the corner office what the hotline number is 3 times, and he's given me 3 different numbers.
Pick the one in the middle.
Yeah.
There's another Rocky reference.
It's iconic.
If I can change, you can change. Anyone can change.
Oh, God, stab me in the neck.
That bad, huh?
Yeah. That movie's just so horrendous. The best part of that movie, though, is, I mean, granted, Stallone's steroided up, and we don't even know if it was him, but when he's hanging from that beam and he does those sit-ups, that's like, holy blank.
Yeah. The whole Siberian training montage.
It's the best.
Hearts on Fire, great song.
No.
That's where I lose you.
No.
And then while training, he's going to outrun the car.
That's that.
I mean, come on. It's so effing bad.
It's
I mean, honestly,
awesome.
it doesn't. B movies are like, don't you dare put that on our list. Don't you dare.
The best is hearing them talk about how they were actually punching each other in the face.
God, I am really good at having other people do work for me. I am good at delegating.
Oh, you ran a department. So, you know.
What are we waiting for?
That was 2, right?
You are listening to Miller and Moulton, exclusively on the Florida Sports Network. And now here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
And it is the Diamond District bonus hour. We are grateful, thankful for Todd and Jason, their support of the show for 20 years. And we helped them out along the way. So hopefully, you know, we're all kind of thankful for each other. We're very thankful for you for listening. Wouldn't have a show without you. Hope you know that by now. Miller and Moulton, thanks so much for being with us. We will be off tomorrow, but we'll be on the air Friday. We're doing a show Black Friday. Yeah.
But if you tune in tomorrow morning, you will hear Miller and Moulton. It's just a recorded version.
Best of. I mean, and let me tell you what you're going to hear.
The archives of these shows are, whew.
I mean, you want to talk about when we go off the reservation with some topics. That's what you hear in the best of shows right there. You know, kind of like we did earlier today, where we did a segment about, you know, my love of tuna mac salad and how apparently that's like one of the worst things I've ever done in my life.
No, it's an interesting breakfast choice.
Well, I will grant you that.
Of all of the lunch, dinner items you could eat for breakfast, tuna fish is just an unusual one.
Right. Well, fortunately, I mixed it with some pasta. So, you know, so we've got 3 games tomorrow, all big spreads. Let me ask you this. Do you think we get a game tomorrow? And I'm serious. I mean, Green Bay, and they are banged up. They won last week. You know, Jordan Love's playing a little bit better. They've won a couple games here, but they are staggering into Detroit. I mean, we just did a segment with Dr. Roto, if you missed it, in which he talked about who was the wide receiver? He said, go grab
Romeo Dobbs.
Because he said, I don't know if Green Bay is going to have anybody else. They're a 7.5-point dog at Detroit.
Look, you know, I'm not, this isn't a homer picker. I love the Lions tomorrow. Laying the points. I really do.
Is it because, A, they were so bad last week that you don't think 4 days later they'll play like that?
The fact that it's a home game on a Thursday. It's a short week for a really injured team.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that good to begin with.
And the Lions, by the way, the flip side, everyone's healthy. The only guy you might be missing is Jonah Jackson, who that they haven't really missed him. The O-line has been great.
Can I ask a question? Off the top of our heads, when's the last time the Lions were a 7.5-point favorite on Thanksgiving? I mean, honestly.
Never in my lifetime.
Do we have to go? I mean, you know, Stafford and Sue had a couple of really good teams. I guess one of those years it was possible, but I mean, are we going to have to go back to a Barry Sanders team? A Billy Sims team? I mean, honestly, the Lions is a 7.5-point favorite on Thanksgiving?
Let me see if I can find that on the internet. I'll look into it.
Meanwhile, that's child's play compared to what we got in the next game. I mean, it's Dallas, it's Washington. They hate each other. Yeah. Cowboys favored by 11.
And we've talked about this extensively on this show. Dallas is one of the best plays in sports when they're a big favorite. Not just football. They're one of the best plays in sports when they're a big favorite.
Because, Mark, what did they do to bad teams?
They beat them like a drum. And Dak Prescott against the bad in the NFL is the best. He is elite against bad teams.
An example, sorry, Mark. The Eagles are 9-1. They have scored 61 more points than their opponents. They're 9-1, best record in the league. The Cowboys are 7-3. They have outscored their opponents by 127 points.
And think about that. They got drummed by the
San
Niners
Francisco, yeah,
and got beat convincingly by Arizona.
But I think was that score close or no? But 127 points. They're plus 127. The Ravens are plus 127. And the Niners are plus 122. But the Cowboys are tied with the best point differential in the league with Baltimore, who's 8-3.
The Cowboys have won 40-0, 30-10, 38-3, 43-20, 49-17, and 33-10.
And here comes Washington on a short week, having just lost to the Giants. And I agree with Adam Beasley, who we had on earlier. I think the Giants right now are the worst team in the league. And yet Washington managed to lose to them because they committed 6 turnovers.
I have no problem laying the points in either of the first 2 games.
Okay, so now we get to the nightcap. And first off, we've eaten all day and we've watched football all day. So, I have to admit, by the Thanksgiving night game, I'm a little footballed out usually. Now, for a few years, I was working a game, so, I didn't need any more football. That was a fairly intense experience. But the Sunday night the Thanksgiving night game hasn't fully caught hold with me.
Me either.
Okay.
Because, at the end, it is a family day. We've watched most of us have watched a game pretty closely in and around dinner.
And I got to be honest, there's another Thanksgiving night game, and that one interests me more.
The Egg Bowl.
Yeah, because they genuinely don't like each other.
I don't know. I've not spent enough time in Washington or Oregon in those great rivalries, but I don't know if there are 2 more diverse fan bases and alumni than you get from Mississippi and Mississippi State.
You mean life is different in Oxford compared to Starkville?
Just a touch.
They're about a good hour, maybe an hour 15 apart. You can get there in 2 roads.
Both of them probably 2-lane. I'm just having a little.
No. Actually, I'm doing the drive in my head. No, you're right. You're right. So, you go to Tuscaloosa, you make a left. That's how you get to Starkville. You go to Tuscaloosa, you make a left. You take the same road connects the northern side of Tuscaloosa with Starkville. You just get off at the hotel on the corner there. It's like, oh, this must be a city. There's a hotel there. Otherwise, you would have gone right past it. Also, all the churches stop. There's 712 churches between Tuscaloosa and Starkville. And then all of a sudden, there's no church for a mile or 2. And there's a hotel. And you're like, oh, the university must be here. And then you go a little further, we're back to the churches. But
the Egg Bowls, that's another 10-point spread.
I know.
Every single damn game is 7+.
Niners in Seattle, but they're a 7.5-point favorite in Seattle. Seahawks
are banged up right now.
They're about as bad as you can. Who's looked worse getting to 6-4, Seattle or Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
Okay, I think you're right.
I mean, Seattle beat Detroit. I know Pittsburgh's had a nice win against Baltimore, so it's close. But Pittsburgh aesthetically has been dreadful.
Seattle got swept by the Rams. I mean, believe me, Seattle. I think you're right, but let me tell you, Seattle's a closer silver medalist than you think.
But you can't put it on division games. I mean, look at the Eagles.
The Rams are an any given Sunday team too. I mean, they've got Stafford, they've got Cup. They had Cup at least. I feel like that. They could beat anybody.
Well,
when they're healthy, they've just never been healthy.
That's
true.
True.
They've been as healthy as they've been all year. Was the 2 games against Seattle, week 1 and then last week. But so we got 4 football games, 1 college, 3 NFL. 7.5, 11. The NFL game 7.5 at night, and the college game is 10. I mean, if we were to have a serious football poll question, as opposed to what's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish, mashed potatoes or stuffing, which is our poll question, by the way. That Mark Miller, the David Moulton, FloridaSportsNetwork.com. But, okay, which underdog you give the best shot to win? Green Bay, Washington, Seattle, Mississippi State. Seattle and Mississippi State are both at home.
Mississippi State. And that's a tough one to even say.
I think I'd say Seattle.
I was between the two.
But, and both those games are at night. And since we said most of us don't watch the football that's at night on Thanksgiving, it's been a long day, footballed out, so much turkey, we're tired, ready to go to bed, the whole deal. I don't know if we're going to get a good game. If you're only watching 12:30 and 4, I don't know if you're going to get a whole lot of good football. Now, let's hope, they surprise us. I mean, I do think it's Ron Rivera's last game as coach of the Commanders, unless he wins. I really believe he's getting fired over the weekend, if not Friday. The loss to the Giants. They're 0-3-1 against the Giants the last 2 years. That's difficult if you're running Washington. That's difficult to deal with. I mean, you've played the Eagles tough 4 times in the last 2 years. You're 1-3, but
there's something about division games, David. That's what I mean. Like Washington plays the Eagles tough, they can't play the Giants. The Rams can beat Seattle, can't do anything against the Niners. There's just something about division games that make this league so flippin' great.
It is true. It's why, by the way, what the NFL do for Thanksgiving? 3 division games. That's what they're counting on. They're counting on, I know it's a short week and you don't feel like playing and what have you. Yeah, well, let's put a division rival on the schedule. Well, I'll play against them.
I mean, it would be nice if and obviously Dallas and Detroit always host, but it would be nice if they were the road teams in these games, if you know what I mean. I just don't think there's as much there with both of them being at home for the 12:30 and 4 o'clock games.
So there you have it. We're excited. Thanksgiving, day off for most of us. A day of football, food. I just don't know how good. And then, quite frankly, Black Friday. Now, I think it's going to be a good, close game. But the Dolphins are a 9-10 point favorite on the Jets. I mean, will we get a good game before Saturday? Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Hey y'all, it's Ben Allen. When it comes to singing and performing live shows, I'm in my comfort zone. When it comes to wanting to surprise my wife with diamonds, I'm a bit lost. That's why I go see my friends Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. Jason and Todd helped me blow my wife away when we got engaged, and I've been applauding them ever since. If you're in the market for diamonds this holiday season, Southwest Florida has been giving Jason and Todd a standing ovation for over 20 years. Go see them and let Jason and Todd know that Ben Allen sent you.
Thanks, Ben. We're proud of you and your accomplishments. and thrilled that you are part of our Diamond District family.
This holiday season, visit Jason and me at the Diamond District. We look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
The law firm of Michael F. Hornung has successfully represented the citizens of Southwest Florida for over 30 years. As a former prosecutor, the information I know is information you need to know. If you've been arrested for a DUI, a criminal matter, or involved in an auto accident, call the law firm of Michael F. Hornung. I'm a local attorney with local knowledge to assist you through the process. For a free consultation, call 239-437-0095. That's 239-437-0095. Offices in Fort Worth.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
Oh, big boy, they're fired up. Someone made a post on the Facebook Reserve, my neighborhood page, about dog poo not being picked up, and boy, oh boy, they are up in arms, David.
Is it one instance, or apparently David, is this an epidemic, Mark?
We may have an epidemic.
I think you should respond and said, listen, my co-host ate tuna mac salad at 7:30 in the morning. Okay. You tell me what's more outrageous. I would rather he pooped on my lawn. Yeah. Is it me, or are these shows kind of moving?
The last 2 days.
Hot show today.
And yesterday.
Hot show.
And we made it easy on you, buddy. We put together 2 hours. You could just go boop, boop.
You sure did. Yesterday was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be when I was stitching all that stuff together.
Good. Just good.
Cut and paste. Although I may or may not have snuck David's Snake Chronicles into the bonus hour. Once it bit them, all bets were off.
Occasionally, we'll run a best of, and I don't know, Mark, if it happens to you, I'll get like one text, or there'll be like one comment on Twitter in which somebody who didn't hear it the first time would be like, and they'll comment about whatever it was. Not about any of the hardcore sports segments. No, it's always about, tuna mac salad.
Keep an eye on the phone there.
Kelly Harper is the Lady Vols coach's name.
Coach Harper.
Correct.
Yes.
Oh, someone's calling.
Coach is on the line.
Okay.
Who are they playing? Indiana?
And then they'll play Oklahoma Saturday. The other two teams are Oklahoma, Princeton. Tennessee, Indiana, Oklahoma are all ranked, and Princeton lost at third-ranked UCLA by 3.
They play Indiana, Tennessee, Notre Dame, and Ohio State, all ranked. They go Indiana, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Ohio State.
Oh, yeah. Well, Tennessee and UConn, they're always the raise your hand. You want to play, we'll play.
Welcome to the bonus hour, brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. This is the best college basketball week in Southwest Florida. You got the Gulf Coast Showcase over at Hertz Arena. Their men's tournament wraps up today. Their women's tournament's Friday through Sunday. But the Fort Myers tip-off, they wrap up their men's tournament tonight. And then they've got a terrific women's tournament that begins on Thanksgiving Day. 4 terrific teams, 3 of them ranked: Tennessee, Indiana, Oklahoma, and Princeton has been a mid-major power for a decade now, and they nearly knocked off third-ranked UCLA the other day on the road. So this is some terrific college basketball. Head to FSW Arena and check it out. And Kelly Harper, the head coach at Tennessee, is kind enough to join us at this time. Coach, we wish you and yours a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for your time. How are you?
Well, I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Did you have any hesitation about, playing over the holidays? I mean, do kids want to play on Thanksgiving? Do they want to spend some time with their family? You've got a family. I mean, did you hesitate at all, or is it just basketball season and we go?
Yeah, no, it's definitely basketball season. The benefits of playing over the holidays is we can travel and our players don't miss class. So there honestly is an expectation that you will be gone the week of Thanksgiving.
All right, talk to us about your team. It looks like you have no problem scoring the basketball. And competition-wise, this is a gauntlet schedule to start the season.
Yeah, it is. It's it's kind of what you do at Tennessee. You come to Tennessee to be the best, and to be the best, you got to play the best. And we love the early competition. Sometimes don't love the early records if you're not able to get those wins. But I think our team is they're fun to coach. They've been competitive, and we're just we're excited about the opportunity we have down here.
Can your base handle, because you play top 25 teams seemingly every night, and if you suffer 4 or 5 setbacks before conference play, and then you play in arguably the toughest conference in the country, I mean, can they handle if you enter conference play at 11-4, if you know what I mean?
They, as in our players?
No. Your fan base, the 20,000 there at the Rolling Thompson Arena. Can they handle 11-4 when conference play begins?
I think the expectations are really high at Tennessee. I think to what you're alluding to, they expect you to go to the Final Four, win a national championship, go undefeated, and that's okay. That's part of being at Tennessee. But I don't know that is the most important thing. Talking about whether or not they can handle it, the most important thing is whether our team can handle it. And one of the things that we've been able to do is last couple of years is really look big picture with our team. And we had some early losses, but it helped us. It really, the competition made us better, and we're coming off of back-to-back Sweet 16 appearances.
And off to a good start this year as well. Tennessee taking on Indiana on Thanksgiving, 6 o'clock at Suncoast Credit Union Arena here in Southwest Florida. Well, it looks to me, just looking at your record, looking at your games, that you want to get up and down the court. This team's at their best when they're playing a very fast pace. Is that a safe assumption?
Yeah, I think so. We've been pretty good offensively, and you're right, the pace has been hot. Two of the teams that we have played, Troy and Florida State, both love to push the ball down the floor as well. So both of those two games, I felt like a million possessions because both teams were getting it up and down the court, and obviously we scored 91 and 100 against those two teams. So we definitely like the pace being a little bit quicker. We can spread the ball around and do some different things offensively. I think for us, we've got to maintain that consistency, continue to find some efficiency on the offensive end while we've got to continue to work on our defense.
When you played at Tennessee, I mean, you guys won 3 straight national championships. You were the hunted. Now, coaching the Lady Vols, you're the hunters in that, South Carolina has emerged. All right. Does it feel different, or if you're at Tennessee, you're still the hunted?
You're still the hunted. It's truly amazing. People come in to play us. People, we play them on the road, wherever it is, and there's just a different feel. We feel like we get a lot of people's best games. There's still an allure around the orange, and I'm not saying that hasn't happened for South Carolina and some other teams, but we really do feel like we get the best when we're playing an opponent. I think there's still something special about playing Tennessee.
Does that force your team and your players to play with a little chip on their shoulder because of that?
Well, I think they have to understand that's the climate. I think they have to understand that's the culture and what it is to actually be at Tennessee. It's not, it is not easy. It is not easy to play for the University of Tennessee, and it is not for everybody. So I think our players have to understand that coming in, and they have to understand that when you step on the court, you have to expect everyone's best, and it has to make you better, and it has to make you more competitive, because you cannot take a night off, or you doesn't matter who you're playing. It doesn't have to be that the gauntlet of schedule that we have. It can be, something that folks wouldn't think is the harder part of your schedule. I mean, you can look at women's basketball in general right now, and the parity is unbelievable. And so we understand you've got to be consistent. Can't take a night off.
Well, Coach Harper, we're talking with Kelly Harper, head coach of the Lady Vols of Tennessee, and the Fort Myers tip-off, the women's division, begins on Thanksgiving. Tennessee will play Indiana at 6 o'clock on Thanksgiving. They'll play Oklahoma at 1:30, I believe it is, on Saturday, and that's 3 of the 4 nationally ranked teams in the tournament. But, in our neck of the woods, FGCU women are a big deal, okay? And we're wondering, McGraw, before she retired, she said, I think some of us need to schedule some more mid-majors. Now, that's never a problem with Tennessee. You guys schedule anybody, anywhere, anytime. But do you think the next step in women's basketball is to create more mid-majors? Because right now there's like 6 that are consistently good. Do you think that's the next step?
Oh, I think there's definitely more than 6 this year. I mean, go and look at the scores. There are teams knocking off BCS opponents. There are teams that are knocking on the door against BCS opponents. I think there's a lot more parity, parity. And I'm not necessarily just talking BCS. I mean, I coached at Missouri State for 6 years. I coached at Western Carolina for 5 years. So I understand the different levels of play in turn. When I say levels, I'm not trying to negate who they are. I'm just talking about their conference and where they come from. But
right.
Because we at Missouri State took a team to the Sweet 16. So I'm telling you, it does not matter where you come from right now. There's a lot of really good basketball, and I think it's because there's so many more good players across the country, and there are so many more good coaches. I mean, there are some of the best coaches out there at a mid-major program, mid-major at a mid-major conference. So
Sure.
you definitely see that when you're playing them.
Well, Coach, you, along with obviously Coach Summit, but you helped create the sport the way it is now. And congratulations on your success so far at Tennessee. Best of luck, not only in this tournament, the rest of the year. Good luck going beyond the Sweet 16, and hopefully we can talk again.
That sounds great. Thank you, guys.
Kelly Harper, head coach of the Lady Vols. They host Indiana on Thanksgiving Day at 6 o'clock. Princeton, Oklahoma before that, if you're looking to get out and do something. And then they'll play, the four teams will, midday on Saturday. Miller and Moulton. Thanks so much for listening. Florida Sports Network.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
20 years ago, Jason and I had the idea for a jewelry store like no other, with a vast selection of certified diamonds priced 8 to 12% over cost. A team of individuals who are educated, driven, and believe in cultivating relationships.
Today, we have become one of the largest independent jewelry stores in the country. Todd and I love what we do and are in the store nearly every day, along with our GIA gemologists, master jewelers, custom designers, and non-commissioned diamond consultants, all of which we consider family.
As direct diamond importers, we travel the world, forging relationships and sourcing diamonds. What we love most about our business is that we can call Southwest Florida our home.
If selection, value, and comfort are important to you, give the Diamond District an opportunity. You won't find a better diamond buying experience. Todd and I look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
At the Diamond District.
Located on the East Trail, locally owned Naples Tiki Bar and Grill is an outdoor eatery next to the Hitching Post Shopping Center. Island-inspired food with a true tiki theme. The best place in Naples to enjoy the beautiful weather in Southwest Florida. The Naples Tiki Bar and Grill offers a great menu for dine-in or takeout. Enjoy our famous pulled pork, huge burgers, and tiki bar cocktails. Don't miss happy hour every day from 3 to 6 and live music 7 days a week. See you soon at the Naples Tiki Bar and Grill, 11498 Tamiami Trail East.
Hello, friends and family of Southwest Florida. Are you looking to tap into the electric vehicle market? Well, look no further, because we here at Southwest Florida Golf Carts have just what you need. E-bikes, golf carts, LSVs, scooters, and more. Come down and talk with one of our experienced sales reps, have a soda and a smile, and you could be cruising the streets in your new EV today. Stop by the store or visit our website at flgolfcarts.com and enter for a chance to win $100 off your next purchase by answering John's monthly sports question.
You are listening to Miller and Moulton on the Florida Sports Network.
David, where are you December 11th?
Could be Miami. Right now, it's still scheduled.
When will you know?
I'm guessing we'll know next week.
Okay. The reason I ask, I just found out because I was looking at the remote board for Beasley. The afternoon show's at the casino on the 11th. I am literally texting with Kathy going, why are we not out? Not those words, but trying to get us out there. If you were in Miami, would you be able to, was there any chance you'd fly back here Sunday? Could you pull that off? To do the show Monday here or no? Or would you be in Miami? That's if you're in Miami, could you do it in Immokalee? And I don't think it would be a deal breaker either way because I could still be out there, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, how far is Miami to Immokalee? And I'd probably stay in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, I could do it. I mean, can we do it? Like connection wise.
All I need is an internet line. Do it the same way we do it here. I just got to hook up a computer. Same way we did it at Napa.
Oh, okay. Do we need my Comrex?
I don't know. Would probably be helpful. And I might just say if they're going to be out there, if they've got one, might you? Yeah, probably.
Well, but the problem is they wouldn't get out there early enough to set it up for us.
I'd be going out the day before. December 10th. Where am I?
No, that's a Sunday.
I can't. I got
Remember?
Yeah. No.
All right.
Like the old days, I'm doing sales during commercial breaks.
It's nice that there's enough interest.
That's nice that there's a salesperson. Oh, yeah, there's not.
Well, somebody's got to make the commission. Then again, have you made any commission yet?
I will say I got paid for the Dr. Roto thing, so you need to invoice them $300 for the Roto.
Well, I'm owed $1,000 too for the live.
I'd be
ads I
invoicing them
did.
every time. I invoiced them 3 times for the $300 until I got it. Now I'm going to
Okay.
start invoicing the commission.
All right. All right.
I got all this crap done. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's what happens with these shows. We get to this segment. I'm like, did I do all this crap this morning?
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, and this is not a joke. This is true. There's just a difference between Miller and Moulton. Because we each put in, I would say, probably pretty even the amount of work invested in this show. The work I put in is non-revenue generating. The work Mark puts in is revenue generating. That is the difference between Miller and Moulton in a nutshell. We've laughed over the years, like if we took over, a minor league team, or we took over FGCU, and Mark would always just look at me and go, "You can have nothing to do with the money-making part of the operation."
Kathy says happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Here we go.
I miss Kathy.
Welcome to the bonus hour, brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes before the hour. Miller and Moulton, Florida Sports Network. The Diamond District bonus hour edition. By the way, Trent, you have not taken in any of the college basketball in the 239 this week, have you?
I haven't. It's a crime.
Yeah, you need to make a mental note, because you just got here. You're staying with family. You're going to move into your own apartment. Got to jam in a Thanksgiving trip. So I understand, you're still coming and going. But next year, I mean, this is you, college hoop guy. This is your week.
Yeah, you could have been over at Hertz watching bad college basketball during the day, a bunch of mid-majors with 37 people there. I've been to some of those games. There's nobody there.
No, there's nobody
I don't know how the tournament continues. And I'm not kidding.
Well, I do love the mid majors too. So this would be a lot of fun.
The men's part of the Gulf Coast Showcase, the Monday through Wednesday before Thanksgiving, it's tough to even get a school, we're a mid-major. I mean, it's small conference.
Right.
It's like of the 8 teams, it's like at least 6 small conference. You're hoping for 2 mid-majors. Then the Friday through Sunday, the women's part of their tournament, that's,
They can
Caitlin
televise
Clark
it.
and Iowa.
They can televise the women's tournament.
In fact, I'm shocked. One year, the final was South Carolina and Notre Dame, I think.
Wow.
No. It was like 5 years ago. I mean, the women's tournament, the field they get, and now look at what the Fort Myers Tip-Off are doing. I mean, and obviously we follow women's basketball because of FGCU more than 99.8% of the, sports talk shows in the country. But I mean, that's 3 nationally ranked teams in Princeton, and Princeton's been one of the 5 best mid-majors in the country for 8 years.
And I follow FGCU mainly because their head coach is a metalhead.
Right.
That's a good nugget of information.
A metalhead. And I mean hardcore.
Hard.
Does he have a favorite?
Might be Iron Maiden.
Nice. That's all you need to know.
So, but the fact, and then, I mean, the Fort Myers Tip-Off, the men's division, I mean, there's 2 divisions. They got their mid-major tournament and they got their majors. I mean, that sucker was sold out Monday and tonight, sold out. All those Wisconsin fans. And next year, Michigan's in it, so that sucker will be sold out. Don't you think?
I tell you what, though, that's, it takes a long time after a hurricane, as people are aware. We're still dealing with the remnants of Ian and fixing things. All of the signs are not going to be replaced by then. How are we going to have Michigan here with all these temporary signs that are just going to disappear from Southwest Florida?
Still just can't resist, can you?
David, when it's an 84-mile-an-hour groove fastball over the middle of the plate, I got to take it deep.
Yep. You're not taking that 2-0-3-1 pitch, are you?
No, I'm swinging.
Taking it to the short porch at Tiger Stadium.
I'm swinging.
Okay. I got you.
It's time for someone to take back this segment, if for no other reason than to stop David from talking about Meghan and Harry. Here's Mark Miller with Today Was the Day When.
1903 we start. It was our royal family at the time. Franklin Roosevelt and Eleanor Roosevelt are engaged. 1930, Elijah Muhammad forms the Nation of Islam in Detroit. 1936, they held the PGA at Pinehurst.
In November?
Right. Yeah. Danny Shute wins his first of consecutive PGA titles, winning 3-2. Today in 1950 was the lowest scoring NBA game ever. 7,021 see the Fort Wayne Pistons edge the Minneapolis Lakers 19-18.
That's funny. I thought it was the Knicks and the Heat.
The Humane Society forms in Washington, D.C. today in 1954. RCA made a little bit of an investment today. RCA Records today paid Sun Records $35,000 in 1955 to purchase Elvis Presley's contract.
Might be the best deal in the history of deals. I mean, that or what we purchased Alaska for.
Yeah.
It's up there.
It's up there. 1956, the Summer Games opened in Melbourne, Australia. Could you imagine if they tried that now? To have the Olympics concurrent with the National Football League?
It would not go well for the Olympics. Well, by the way, think about the turmoil in households around the country. These are the Summer Olympics. That's gymnastics.
Right.
Mark, you'd be, oh my goodness. There'd be 2 weeks of just arguing.
Today in 59, the American Football League conducts its first draft. 1963, President Kennedy assassinated. And LBJ sworn in as our 36th president. The Beatles also released their second album today in 63 with the Beatles. Ali beats Floyd Patterson in his second title defense in a 12th round KO today in 65.
Wasn't Patterson wouldn't call him Ali?
Was that?
I thought.
I don't think that was Patterson.
I thought it was Patterson who wouldn't call him Ali, and it kept referring to him as Clay in the lead up to the fight. And so as Ali was pounding him, I thought it was Patterson. I could be wrong.
I know what you're talking about, and he wouldn't knock him out.
He wouldn't knock him out. He kept beating him up, going, What's my name? What's my name?
Today in 66, Steve Spurrier wins the Heisman. Mel Brooks' first film, The Producers, debuted today in 67. The White Album was released today in 68. Mike Tyson becomes the youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history at 20 when he stops Trevor Berbick in round 2 today in 1986.
Have you seen highlights of that recently? Berbick is desperately trying not to be knocked out, and he keeps trying to get up, and his legs are a gummy bear. And he's just falling all over the place trying to get up.
Also today in 86, Gretzky becomes the 13th to score 500. Dale Earnhardt wins the Sprint Cup today in 87. Kirby Puckett signs a record $3 million contract today in 1989.
He was the first by days. I think he beat Ricky Henderson to the punch by days to be baseball's first $3 million a year ball player.
The Addams Family, the film, was released today in 91. Toy Story was released in 95. Ted Koppel retired from late-night television news program Nightline today in 2005 after 25 years with the show and 42 years with ABC. And Patrick Waugh, number 33, was retired by the Canadians today in 2008.
It took that long for him to get over the grudge.
Exactly. It wasn't the other way around.
I wanted to do it for years. He was like, I'm still mad at you.
Left me in that game. 10 damn goals.
I will never play another game for you.
Rodney Dangerfield would have celebrated a birthday today. Billie Jean King is 80. Stephen Van Zandt is 73. Jamie Lee Curtis is 65. Boris Becker is 56. And Scarlett Johansson is 39 years old today.
Is she really?
Yes, she is.
Margaret Thatcher resigned today in 1990. That was a big deal at the time, the Iron Lady. And 15 years later, Angela Merkel became Chancellor of Germany. That was also a big deal, a woman leading Germany. So that's your little European history note.
You've heard folks elsewhere mock Florida is gonna Florida. Well, Mark Miller sees it differently. He calls it the good, the bad, and the ugly. What you got, Mark?
It's a few days away, but it's good news. Doc's Beach House has been closed since Hurricane Ian, obviously, and they will open their doors on December 1st, bringing back 90% of their staff. 13 months since a 14-foot storm surge took out the entire first floor of the beachfront restaurant, so good for them. So time to get a pizza at Doc's and watch a little football. For the bad, we go to Naples, where Tapico Sanchez was breaking sprinkler heads at the La Quinta Inn in Naples. Then she began to tamper with the HVAC circuit breaker in the front of the building by ripping out wiring. Police were called. She took off and made it to the Olive Garden before officers found her in the Olive Garden bathroom. She was speaking nonsense at the time. She damaged 8 sprinkler heads and ruined the HVAC circuit breaker. Finally, the ugly. We go to Oakland Park, Florida, where if you wanted a handicap permit, all you needed is to find Richie Milto. He was selling handicap stickers. Whoa. He was selling handicap stickers via Instagram. He was finally busted for selling the illegal parking stickers via the social media app. And that is the good, the bad, and the ugly on today, November the 22nd, 2023.
14 NBA games tonight. Well, they can only have 15. So, only 2 teams have the night off. Orlando's hosting Denver. The Heat are in Cleveland to face the Cavs. The shorthanded Cavs, although they won in Philly last night in overtime. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm taking the Heat laying 2.5 tonight. Back-to-backs for the Cavs, shorthanded, went to OT last night, short road trip still. Give me the Heat -2.5 tonight against Cleveland. Jokic, though, in Orlando. Magic have won 4 in a row. The ESPN doubleheader, Milwaukee at Boston at 7:30, and Golden State at Phoenix at 10. Can you believe the Dallas Lakers game is not the game they chose? They chose Golden State and Phoenix. I'm surprised and impressed all at the same time.
Well,
There's
it's
no
KD versus the Warriors. That's probably their angle.
I don't know. Who plays for the Lakers again?
Well, the greatest player of all time.
David, is there a limit on how many times they can put him on?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there is. Hockey, by the way, there's a boatload of games tonight,
Yes,
too.
there are. Bruins are at the Panthers.
Yes, on TNT, by the way, at 7 o'clock. Lightning are hosting Winnipeg, also at 7 o'clock. But your guys' Red Wings hosting Seth's Devils. Your wife's Penguins hosting my Rangers. For whatever reason, she hates the Rangers. I don't
Hates
understand.
the Rangers. I don't get it.
Get it? So they used to beat them like a drum until very recently. Every time they met in the playoffs, they beat them too. I'm trying to think what in the world angst the Rangers caused the Penguins.
I don't know. My mother-in-law had an apartment in New York, so maybe it's the fact that they would go to New York and visit that she decided she didn't like the Rangers. I don't know, David. I don't get it.
No, makes no sense at all. I get the Islanders. They eliminated them for the playoffs in some gut-wrenching fashion a couple times. Ended the three-peat. I mean, though, I get hating the Islanders. The Rangers don't understand. So, anyway, no football today. First time in over 7 weeks. There is no football today or tonight. Deal with it. Get ready for family tomorrow if they're not already in town.
Oh, David, you might want to go, get yourself a couple of calisthenics. You got a lot of running around to do today.
Sure do.
You're errand boy today.
I'm hitting 3 places that nobody will be. Publix, Walmart, and the Honey Baked Ham store. Not going to be any problems parking there.
Can't make a Costco's or a Sam's as well?
I might as well just pop in and see if I can do a taste test.
Maybe Friday morning, check out a Best Buy if you can after the show.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe to hit a liquor store today, too.
You may need it after that trip. There is no doubt. In fact, David, if I were you, I would do this in waves. I'd hit the Walmart. I'd stop at a dive bar, have a draft. I'd hit the Publix, take all the food home, and then before you get the ham, hit another dive bar, have a draft.
Listen, that sounds great, but I'm going to do all 3 at one swoop. Going to the farthest place.
Stop for a draft.
Going to the farthest place, which for me is Walmart, backtracking, hitting the Publix, and then, supposedly the ham's been ordered, it's paid for. Supposedly whatever I'm getting at Walmart's already paid for. I just have to wait in line to get it.
Something tells me that might not go as smoothly as you're hoping.
If it doesn't, I would like you to go to Twitter and tweet out the problems that you're having. I don't want good news. I want some bad news.
Mark wants chaos. What's new?
It'll be like running errands the day before Thanksgiving or me dealing with the TSA. Which is better?
Well, we know how much you love the TSA and you're making friends quickly in Jacksonville with the TSA folks there.
Every single one of us had our bag searched. I said, you don't think maybe the scanner's not set properly? You're checking our electronics. It's why we pay for TSA. For goodness. They checked this guy's food in his Tupperware. I said to the lady, why don't you take it home? Now you ruined my mood. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Have a terrific Thanksgiving. We'll be back on Friday. Miller and Moulton.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again.
Yeah. Hi. Excuse me.
Hey, the line starts back here.
Ma'am, if your party's not here, you're going to have to go.
If you had the opportunity to avoid all this, wouldn't you?
Salt Live is the official transportation provider of the Miller and Moulton Morning Show, making your trip to and from the airport seamless and stress-free. Salt Live is supported with the help of local